call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, 𝗺𝗄𝗆𝗺.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
My name's Aidan Kearney,
Also known as
Turtleboy.
Is a senior editor for Turtleboy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtleboy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I
know
have
you do.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never gonna stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be the disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. All right. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good? Good. Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. You can call me a variety of names that are all acceptable, such as Clarence with Emerson. That's what I go by on Facebook and do a bus stop live stream from every morning. So go make sure you go and follow that account on the Facebook, all you boomers. You can call me 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃 because that's my true crime name. When I put on a leather jacket and I go into the woods and I just do some deep soul searching and solve mysteries, murders, you name it. This is what I do. Write books, New York Times bestseller. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy. Old school turtle riders are known to do that. You can call me Dr. Turtleboy. I actually prefer that because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. Or, still acceptable as daddy, not mandated. I know that can be a little bit weird for some people, call another grown-ass man daddy, or Dr. Daddy, whatever you want. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. Probably going to do it Sunday night because, as you guys know, I am a resident foster child Detroit Lions fan this year. So and I say we because us Detroit Lions fans, we have our first home playoff game in the March for the Super Bowl this Saturday night. So got to cheer on the team. You know what I mean? So, and plus there's no game Sunday night. There's a game at 6:30, but it's the Bills game, isn't it? We're going to start after the Bills game Sunday. Okay. Cause that's going to be another awesome game. But yeah, as you guys know, like I said, there's a lot of Detroit Lions fans here. I'm one of you. Now you've adopted me into your family temporarily. So go Lions. We're going to win it all this year. Our pain and misery is going to be over. It's going to be dope. Ohio State can go fuck itself. Just thought I'd let you know that. So Notre Dame, it's a magical season. It's a magical school. Ohio State has no magic. Notre Dame has magic. So, no, we're probably going to lose. I mean, we're lucky to make it as far, let's be honest. But I'm telling you, fuck that. This is the year. This is it. This is it. And yeah, so if the Lions lose, then the Bills are my backup team. I'm also a Bills fan. Even though they're in our division, I got nothing but love for the Buffalo Bills. Never had a problem with them. They deserve to win a championship. One of them. I mean, if I would go down the rankings, I guess number 3. I mean, who deserves to win after that? I mean, last on my list is definitely the Chiefs. I want them to win the least. And then after that, I mean, the Texans have no shot. The Commanders have no shot. The Commanders need to change their name back to the Redskins because that was a great logo. And, I mean, the Texans would be cool if they won, but they're the fucking Texans. They don't deserve it. They haven't been through enough misery yet, like us Lions fans. We've been through this over the years. Decades and decades of losing. Now is our time to shine. And I usually don't like the Ravens. I usually hate the Ravens, but Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry deserve to win a Super Bowl. Like they deserve to. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just hope as long as my Lions win, I'll be good. Eagles, I don't really like the Eagles because I don't like Eagles fans, but I felt bad for them. They didn't win one couple years ago against the Chiefs. They want redemption too. So whatever. Sportball. Let's go. Patriots are back anyway. We got Mike Vrabel's back in town. It's gonna be awesome. They're talking about AJ Brown coming here because he's reading books on the sidelines. Because nobody's passing him the ball in Philly. Come to New England, baby. Come to Foxborough. The young man by the name of Drake May who would love to throw the ball to you. So come on down, my dude. They're disrespecting you there in Philadelphia. Come to Foxborough and you will be welcome with open arms here. No one else can catch the ball on this team. So as long as you can catch, you'll be good. But anyway, it's going to be dope, man. And yeah, unfortunately, Mike Vrabel is from Ohio State. Notre Dame's coach, Marcus Freeman, went to Ohio State. So whatever. Anyway, guys, so that's that. If you guys would like to have your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for something called Turtle Chat. We had to build our own platform because we are not allowed to collect your money via super chat on here because I had the wrong opinion about the vaccine mandate about 5 years ago. And I turned out to be completely right, but it's fine because those crooks take, all your money anyway. They take like 40%. I don't even know, too much. So we just built our own thing. You click at the link of and it's worked out perfectly. We don't lose a beat. It's great. Your messages don't appear in pretty colors, but you even get better. I read your message out loud to the class. It's way cooler. So if you click at the link at the top, you can donate whatever amount of money you want. When you do that, you get to write a message. I will get that message in my inbox and I will read it out loud to the class. Let me go check right now. Do we got any so far? Let's see. Okay. Scott Doobie sends $10 and says, John DePetro is so full of shit. He was conceived during anal. I get it. Yeah, what's his problem? I used to like that guy when he was like bothering Rhode Island liberals and offending everyone. That's when he was cool. Now he's just a tool for the state. I mean, I was with him in the trial. He was just lying throughout the whole trial on Twitter, saying that the jurors are doing, like, lying about how the jurors were reacting, is what it is. But anyway, thank you for that one. Fake Victims Outed Twitter account donates $10 and says, Christy is on fire today. That Joe account said some disgusting things about you and Sweet Meredith. They're all eating each other alive, and I'm here for it. It's been a bad week for them, and Christy is a big part of this, obviously. She was behind enemy lines for quite some time, and, for some reason, they just trust you immediately and give you all the family secrets. So I'll show you real quick what they're talking about here if you're not on Twitter. So, where was it? No, that's not it. I mean, she's just found all these receipts. Okay, so here it is. So she posted, let's see this one. So she's in a group chat called Turtle Hunters Chat 2024. Okay. And this is the let's see, we have Crazy Julie Ginto and Fake Victim here talking back and forth. And they're mad at 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗎, who is another Twitter troll, identity unknown. And apparently 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗎 outed Fake Victim's burner accounts. And it says here, let's see. It's because it says here, I don't know if you guys can read this. Julie says, she tried to out you as Joe. And then Fake Victim responds and said, she did out me. So 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗎 outed her alt account, Joe, and we're going to get to that. 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗎 ratted you out. 𝗀𝗏𝗄𝗎 I'm mad that she tried to out me as the Joe account when I've never revealed her true identity to a soul. Right. Okay. And I'm like, because this Joe account, I knew it was Joe the whole time. I knew it was her. But the Joe account was a trip, man. Like, so here's one Joe tweet. And the Joe account was removed the day after the restraining order hearing because we entered into evidence tweets from Joe that she's posted screenshots of like text messages from me, from her, that I sent her from her perspective. So it's like, give me a break. And so you see here, Joe responds and says, like, Joe is talking to me. Like, so she has an order on me and she's talking to me as Joe, but it's okay because she's Joe. She says, aren't you tired of lying? Nobody conspired to put you in jail. You belong in prison. Okay. And, Joe was really proud of that State House speech. She got up in front. I don't know if you guys have seen this. She got up in front of a bunch of cameras at the State House in March. She went there with Grant and 𝗵𝗫 and just got up in front of the cameras and gave this speech about they had just passed a bill to outlaw revenge porn in Massachusetts. And she gave a speech claiming that she was one of the authors of the bill because she was a victim of this. And it never happened. Nothing like that has ever happened to her at all. And just got up there for 2 minutes, and all the reporters were looking around like, who's this? Like a bunch of state reps had just spoken. And so she gets up there and gives this whole speech. They knew it was being passed that day. They knew there would be a bunch of microphones and cameras. And she got up. I mean, she's done a lot of psycho shit. This is top of the list, like jumping up. And she had a pre-prepared speech and delivered it for 2 minutes. And then at the end, one of the reporters asks, she goes, "I'm not answering any questions." And the reporter goes, "Who are you?" And then she spelled her name. And the reporter was like, okay. And I think they just wanted, I think she wanted people to Google her name and then find me. I think that's, I don't know. But anyway, Joe loved it. Joe loved the speech. It says, "Wow, 101,000 views and still going. Now let's sign this bill and end the terror and blackmail from monsters like Aidan and Kearney. His power over his victims ends now." Okay. Or this one. "She has 3 kids by the same man she was engaged to. So all women who remarry and have kids with their new partner are whores. Duly noted. Also, she lives in a brand new luxury apartment in one of the richest towns in Mass with the top schools in Mass." Okay. Yeah. So you too can live in, if you guys want to fire out 4 kids and collect disability, you too can live off the government rent free in a nice town like Medfield, Massachusetts. Or this, what does this one say? "I warn him, he will end up in jail if he disseminates anything. It's in his order. He forgot about it before. I'm kind and warned him." Oh, she's kind. Okay. "He said he never wants to go back." I definitely don't, for sure. "I don't need to go argue back and forth with you. Like I said, the truth will come out at the trial, not the HBO hearings. You'll see." Now, this is interesting. LG didn't lie about the assault. She never called it an assault. The assault that I went to jail over. I went to jail over this assault, this fake assault that never happened. Ask 𝗃𝗏𝗃 why he pressured her to report it. So this is her saying that 𝗃𝗏𝗃 pressured her to report it. She didn't want to. Okay. So it was all 𝗃𝗏𝗃. And then I'm sure she wanted to. Or this one. This is I guess she thinks highly of herself. She says here, "Tread carefully, my friend. Subpoenas are out to Twitter, and you won't be able to hide behind this account much longer with your harassment, lies, and putting LG in constant and imminent fear for her life, as you like to say. She's an amazing mother and has never been on welfare." Good try, though. Right. Okay. Or this one. This is Joe speaks highly here of her. It says, "Why do you keep saying that? It's very odd and concerning that you're fixated on a made-up fantasy story. Did you catch your husband beating his meat to Lindsay's profile picture or something? So sad." No, that's never happened. Ew. Or this one. Ew. Oh, I can't even, I'm not even going to read. This is just like, "She reported me to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and that I was assigned to a special task force." Okay. So anyway, so that's Christie's just been dropping bombs in Twitter. So yeah, check that out if you're on there. Okay. What do we got next here? Where'd my turtle chats go? There it is. Refresh this. Next, we got Amy sends $25 and then $10 and says, Love that you're a new Lions fan. Go Lions, Super Bowl bound. I know all our hard work's going to pay off. We welcome you to the bandwagon with open arms. Super Bowl bound. Go Lions. I'm in. I'm on the bandwagon. I got a full stream ticket ahead. We're going to the top, guys. This is our year. Go Lions. Okay. Pam sends $10. It goes, hi, Doc. Excuse my ignorance, but why can't the governor step in and see how corrupt this all is with Auntie Bev? Family and I listen every Tuesday and Saturday. P.S. I have your book. Your book is great. Thanks for all you do. My pleasure. And I'm glad your family likes it. But, I hear that a lot from people about how corrupt Auntie Bev is and why isn't the governor doing anything. I mean, welcome to Massachusetts politics. As 𝗽𝗿𝗂𝗺's been doing this for a lifetime. They're called hacks. All these people, they're just hacks. All these political hacks. And I got a message, let me read that, just a reminder, right? Auntie Bev, right? Literally subbed herself in. Okay. Her boss put her in, basically. For her, what she's been doing, right, in this trial, she's suddenly been, basically promoted. Not promoted, but assigned forever on this case. She never has to, she's never gonna, never be reassigned to it. She has to be the judge. So basically, they have seen all the criticism she's taken, and that just makes the political hacks want to kind of defend her even more. It just makes them want to dissent. The governor is just as bad. The governor can do shit. The attorney general is way too, especially now that Donald Trump's president. That's going to consume her, Andrea Campbell, and her rapist brother for the next 4 years. She will be solely focused on suing Donald Trump and stupid, meaningless shit to rile up her base that will do nothing at the end of the day. And, meanwhile, maybe she should do something about Sandra Birchmore, or something like that. I don't know. So, yeah, there's that. Next up. Refresh it. Oh, no, I got a couple turtle chats here. All right. Turtle chats. My Cash App for turtle chats, by the way, is $$ Uncle Turtleboy. All right. Katrina sends $10 and goes, is old Sean and Jen O'Dumbbell both still crazy? You know what? I don't like to live in the past. I have not heard it all from either of them. And I think that's great. And that's all. I don't want to bring it back. You know what I mean? It's they stopped. That's all I wanted. Just leave me alone and live your life. And it's great. They've been exposed and I've said my piece and it's over. So no, they've been quiet and, we'll see if it stays that way. But for now, we're good. Nancy sends $20 and goes, were you interviewed by Tim Pool once? Yeah, I was a guest on Timcast, January, I think it was 27th of 2023. If you go back and watch his old episodes, I was on the same week as Steven Crowder. So he got that. He was on Monday and I was on Friday. We were bookends and I had the second most views of all his guests that week. He has a different guest every day. I don't know if it was a cool experience being invited on Timcast. That was before the Karen Reed story broke. If you guys watched, Timcast is a very political show. It's this guy. He's Tim Pool. He's extremely uber rich because he earned it, his brand. Political talk show host that he runs out of his house where him and his friends live. And he's a millionaire. It's fucking lives in a mansion. The house is awesome. But I don't know if he invited me back on there now, it's I don't even know what the fuck we talk about. I've never seen him tweet about the Karen Reed case or anything. He's way more into politics. So if I went on there, you'd have to talk about whatever he wanted to talk about. And none of you guys would some of you guys would be interested in it, but most of you aren't here for the politics. So, that probably wouldn't be the case, but is he single? No, he's not single. He's got a girlfriend. I think I met her when I was there, but anyway, yeah, it was a cool experience. I mean, just being invited on is the cool part. They fly you down there. They put you in a hotel for a couple nights. It's a cool experience. All right. like the week before fucking Kanye was on. Kanye West was on there with Nick Fuentes and Milo the week before. So like that was the company I was keeping. But all right. Carly sends $5 and says, please look into 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 case. Okay. Don't know what that means, but we'll get right on that. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anyone else have any turtle chats here? Beverly sends $25 and say it. Go Chiefs. You donated $25, so I'm going to say it. I don't mean that. I don't mean go Chiefs. I hope the Chiefs lose. I don't want to see the Chiefs win. I don't like it. Obviously, I'm jealous. I can admit it. I don't want them to become Tom Brady, and the more he wins, the closer he becomes to become Tom Brady, and I just don't ever want to see that because he's not as good as Tom Brady. He never had to play. He did briefly play in the Brady era and lost. There was 2 seasons there. Where Brady was on 2019, he avoided Brady in 2018. We beat him in Arrowhead in the AFC Championship game and then won the Super Bowl. The next year, we lost to the Titans, and then the Titans lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and they won the Super Bowl. So like that Super Bowl that he won, it's like you didn't go through Foxborough. You didn't go through the Patriots to get there. So it doesn't really count. And then in 2020, Brady went to Tampa and Brady beat his ass in the Super Bowl. So it's undeniable. Like their careers intersected for 3 years and Brady fucking dominated him. So he's Peyton Manning. Like in my eyes, Pat Mahomes is just Peyton Manning. Like Peyton Manning, if he was born in any other era, if Peyton Manning was like in his prime right now, Peyton Manning would be winning all these Super Bowls. Peyton Manning would have won so many fucking Super Bowls if he wasn't in the league at the same time as Tom Brady. It's just horrible luck. Joe Montana wouldn't have won Super Bowls if he was in the league at the same time as Tom Brady. It's just the truth. So, Mahomes got lucky. If he was born 20 years earlier, like Peyton Manning, fresh out of luck, wouldn't he? So, all right. Thank you for that one. Next up, Mark sends, and I will, unlike like they took down, these idiots are raising money for the Fig Victims lawsuit. And, Papa Moneybags over here, Gaffney, who we're going to get into, he donated $2,000 to them. And he shit all over Grant in his comment on the fundraiser. And they took the comment down because you can't be mean to Grant. And then he took the donation back. It's like, and honestly, I side with him. It's like for $2,000, you could, if you give me a $2,000 donation, I will say whatever the fuck you want me to say. I just said go Chiefs for 25, So there's that. All right. Mark sends $10 and goes, first name only, please. How about this for reasonable doubt? John O'Keefe lost 3 liters of blood, according to the autopsy report. Tell me, where was all the blood around his body? Wasn't there? Was it? Was inside, but you never looked at it. I know, and I get that, Mark, and I know you think that. I appreciate the dono first. Let me say that, and I know you think that's like a novel thing to say, but that is probably the most common thing that people bring up in turtle chats to me. Like that's probably the 100th turtle chat I've read, where somebody has messaged and said, "Oh, how come no one's ever talking about the lack of blood?" It's like, it's a good point. You are correct in saying that. It's just, we've said it a million times. So thank you very much for that one. All right. There's a lot of fucked up shit about this, a lot of fucked up shit. Let's see. I think we have another one here from Nancy, sends $20 and says, fan for about 6 months. Why did Tim Pool invite you on? He had been following me, and I don't know, like his producer, Cassandra McDonald, she's from Shrewsbury. She had been following Turtleboy since like 2016. So she got him into me. So got the invite that way. All right. So if anyone else wants their message read, you can click on the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $Uncle Turtleboy, and we can do it that way. All right. Let's start with how's the crowd looking today? Okay, almost up to $4,000. Not too shabby. Let's start with here. Auntie Bev's ruling. We got to start with this. Dance on Hanky's grave. Poor Spanky. Spanky. Okay. Yesterday. Where'd it go? No, that's not the one. All right, let's pull it up somewhere else. It definitely downloaded this. Give me 1 sec to just download this document real quick. I know I have it on my website, but if you ever look up Karen Reed's case on Mass Court on Norfolk, there's another woman named Karen Reed Esquire who only 2 things come up when you search Karen Reed, Norfolk County on this Mass Courts thing. And there's obviously the murder case that has been probably clicked on millions of times. And then there's the other Karen Reed case. And sometimes I wonder who the other Karen Reed is and how much she regrets being named Karen Reed in a Norfolk County lawsuit from 2017 for negligence and personal injury and property damage, which was disposed by agreement and settlement. All right. So anyway, it's taking forever to load here. So give me 1 sec. She must get so many phone calls, right? You guys ever click on that? I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You've seen it before. All right. All right. Anyway, it's not loading. Mass Courts ain't working. So I'm just going to use the article that I published and do it that way. All right. So let's read this. So this is her. She allowed Dr. Marie Russell. Okay. She had no choice but to do this. Let's keep it real. I mean, Dr. Marie Russell is as qualified as it gets. And these idiots from the other side who just are so retarded. I just don't know what to say. To say that Dr. Russell is not qualified is just peak retardation. She's as qualified as you can possibly get. She's a goddamn ER doctor. Oh, but how did she find out about this case? Yep, she saw it in the Boston Globe. Oh, but when was her subscription canceled? Who gives a shit? She's qualified. Okay. And she's like, oh, yeah, those look like dog bites. And I'd like to look into that. I'd like to offer my expertise. And can you get me in touch with the defense attorney there? I've never spoken to him before. Sure. And she offers her services. Yeah, I'd like to look more into that. Those don't look like dog bites. Sure. Here's all the information. Oh, yeah, those are definitely dog bites, 100%. And have you done this before? Oh, yeah, 500 autopsies. I'm pretty legit. So there was no way in hell that she was going to deny Auntie Bev. I mean, that Auntie Bev was going to deny her the right. Okay, it finally came up, by the way. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. All right. Download it. All right, I got a clearer version. All right, here we go. Much better. Okay. So, actually, I can probably do it bigger. Do it just like that. All right. You guys can see that all right, I hope. Before this court is the Commonwealth's motion to exclude the testimony of Dr. Marie Russell. She intends to testify as to whether the abrasions were caused by a dog on John O'Keefe's right arm. The Commonwealth contends that the defendant has failed to show that her testimony meets the requirements set forth in Daubert. The court concluded the Daubert hearing on December 12th and January 7th. And then this was just the cuntiest thing. I can't even with this woman. Oh, where'd it go? Although a close question, she just had to fucking throw that in there. The court will deny the Commonwealth's motion. Have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen, like, it's not, you either win or you lose, okay? There's no scoreboard. It's like, oh, that was a ESPN classic, wasn't it? That was a real nail biter. Came right down to the wire there. That one went to overtime. Game-winning field goal to win it at the last second. It was a real close one. Why is she giving us a score? It was close. It was close. This is all just bullshit. She just has to. This is cuntiness. That's what this is. This is her being a cunt, because that's what Beverly Kearney is. A walking human cunt. And I don't care if you don't like my language. It's the only, like, this is a cunty thing to do. Say, although a close question. Oh, yeah, good job, Hank. It was really close. You were so close. What was close about it? Like, where was the close part? Did I miss the close? Like, where were they close? It wasn't close. Okay. Expert testimony is admissible when the testimony concerns matters beyond the common knowledge of the jurors and will aid the jurors in reaching a decision. It's inadmissible when the witness testifies to matters beyond her area of expertise. Duh. The determination is made within the court's discretion. However, before the court may exercise its discretion to admit expert testimony, the party seeking to offer the testimony, here the defendant, must establish 5 foundational elements. The expert testimony will assist the trier of fact because the information is beyond the common knowledge of jurors. We all agree that the things that she talked about were beyond the common knowledge of you and I, who are, you know, have our potential jurors. I mean, obviously I can't be on a jury, but you know what I mean? Goes on to say, the witness is qualified as an expert in the relevant area of inquiry. I think we can all agree she's highly qualified to do that. Okay. That the expert's opinion is based on the facts or data of a type reasonably relied on by experts to form opinions in the relevant field. Yeah, of course. That the theory underlying the opinion is reliable and that the theory is applied to the particular facts of the case in a reliable manner. Here, the recognition of dog bite wounds is not within the common knowledge of a layperson and requires expert testimony. Dr. Russell is a qualified expert on these topics. Boom, roasted. Even Auntie Bev has to admit she is a qualified expert. All right. She is a board certified ER doctor. Pretty solid. Sounds a lot more qualified than, I don't know, Joe Paul. With over 30 years experience, is trained in forensic pathology, and has conducted over 500 autopsies. Remember Hank tried to catch her on that one? How many autopsies have you done? How do you said it was between 500 and 1,000. How do you know? She's like, okay, well, I guess I'll go back and fucking count. It was way over 500. Yeah. With respect to dog bites specifically, Dr. Russell has treated hundreds of wounds resulting from dog attacks during her time as an ER doctor and co-authored peer-reviewed articles. Dude, how much does Hanky Panky love saying, are those peer-reviewed? Are they peer-reviewed? Peer-reviewed. Are those peer-reviewed? Are those peer-reviewed? Did your peers review them? Were they reviewed by peers? Were they? Well, I don't know if they were reviewed by peers. Hanky, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. She reviewed them. Okay. She peer reviewed them. It's all set. You're good. Okay. Lastly, informing her opinion in this case, Dr. Russell conducted a differential diagnosis, meaning she did testing and compared theories about could this have happened? Like, could this theory have happened? And remember, she said some of them were in her head, and that really made Hanky Panky mad. He's like, oh, they're in your head? So you didn't put them in your report? No, motherfucker, I didn't put them in your report. Kind of like how, 𝗺𝗵 didn't put in his report anything about I hit him, or it's all my fault. Yet he fucking said that when he was under oath all of a sudden. And supported her theory with reference to peer-reviewed publications. The use of differential diagnosis is a standard scientific technique of identifying the cause of a medical problem. Accordingly, the court finds Dr. Russell's testimony satisfies the 5 foundational elements and therefore will allow her to testify as to whether the abrasions on John O'Keefe's right arm were caused by a dog. So problem solved, right? I mean, that's it. That's all you have to say. It is it's all courts ever do with these motions is explain why they're making their decision. But not Auntie Bev. Remember, it was a close one. It was a real nail biter. Came right down to the wire. So now she has to treat this like it's like some sporting event. And then we have to like relive all of the points that Hank scored. Got to give Hanky some love. So she says, in so ruling, the court recognizes that on cross-examination, the Commonwealth demonstrated, amongst other things, that Dr. Russell's expertise primarily concerns the treatment, not the identification of dog bites. Oh, really? So she's identified over 500 dog bites, but she mostly treats them, so it doesn't count. So she doesn't know what she only treats dog bites. She doesn't, look at them. So she can't really see what one looks like. Okay. That her evaluation of the abrasions, this is the best part. Her evaluation of the abrasions failed to consider all the available information. Are you fucking kidding me? This is that bullshit that Hank brought up, where he's like, did you know? Were you aware? And did the defense let you know? Did the defense let you know? And were you made aware that witnesses at the scene heard the defendant say, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him? No, I was just hired to, I'm a doctor, you see? I'm an ER doctor. I was brought in for my expertise about whether or not those things on his arm are dog bites, because I'm really good at identifying that. I've done it my whole life. It's like my expertise. So no, it was not brought to my attention that some people at the scene claimed after the fact that she said, I hit him, and others didn't. Like that, because that doesn't matter. Fuck all. Like, what does that matter? She's like, are you kidding me? Well, did you know there was snowing? Did you know that the Sullivan sluts testified that Cameron was rude to them a month prior? Did you know that? Did you know that she left angry voicemails with him? Did you know that a man by the name of Brian Higgins was trying to stuff her crust and had a green light to do so, but pulled a Grant Smith Ellis and didn't know what to do at the last moment, couldn't pull the trigger, couldn't do it, and didn't take all the signs later on that she wasn't interested in him? Did you know that? Did you know that he's a decorated dude? Did you know that he called up the JFK program pretending to be a man named Kevin from South Boston? Did you know that? They didn't alert you to that. Wow. They must be hiding something from you. Why wouldn't they tell you about all the, this is the same goddamn trick they do every time with the ARCA experts. They're like, well, did you know that at the scene, people heard her say, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him? No. Did you know that there was DNA found in the taillight? No, I don't care. See, I'm a I'm here for the physics. They wanted me to know if it's physically impossible for a grown man to get hit by a car and have those wounds. And the answer is definitively no. So I don't really give a fuck if there's DNA on the taillight. They could bring that to my, sure, you could bring that to my, go ahead. Let me know and tell me about the tech stream data. Tell me about all that shit. Won't make fuck all difference to me. Go ahead. It's like they didn't tell it, and they make it seem like the defense is hiding something because they didn't share every irrelevant detail that is not at all germane or pertinent to the job that they've been hired to do, which is to figure out the physics of it all. And Dr. Marie Russell's job is to figure out what is real simple. Are those dog bites on his arm? Yes or no? Done. Done. And then this part, that she has not compared the abrasions with the dentition of the German Shepherd. All right. Keep that straight. German Shepherd in question. I mean, I just can't believe that she actually brought that part up. That's the ballsiest thing that she brought up. Nor should she. I'd like to point out, and 𝗄𝗄𝗄𝗃 did not make this point, but I know it as a fact, okay? Because I got sauces. The defense was alerted by 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 that, hey, we have 𝗄𝗃𝗃, and we're getting molds of her teeth. But you can't come. You can't see. According to 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, the dog was rehomed again to another place in Vermont. You can't know the town. The defense doesn't get to know. They don't get to see the dog. And the defense doesn't even really give a shit. I mean, this is where I differ with the defense on this one. They don't really, they're like, their take is, what is it? Even if they were granted access to what they claim is 𝗄𝗃, what would that prove? Like, how would that help their case? Like, you're going to look like I said, none of this is admissible. The dog's teeth are not admissible. Like, there's a million it's 3 years ago. And the mere fact that they didn't let the defense look at it at all, verify that that nothing was done. They claim this is 𝗄𝗃. They just claim it is. None of this is even remotely admissible in court. None of it. And 𝗃𝗃𝗃 knew that. He just kind of wanted it out there. Like, oh, we found 𝗄𝗃. Because 𝗃𝗃𝗃, unlike 𝗼𝗵𝗵 was so bad at like the media. Whereas 𝗃𝗃 like lives online, I think. And I know 𝗃𝗃's probably watching this right now. You suck at the harmonica, 𝗃𝗃, you bootleg ass Bob Dylan. Oh my God, 𝗃𝗃, what are you doing to your career? What are you doing, homeboy? I didn't know who you were before this. You know, apparently you had a good reputation in the legal community. You're throwing it all away. You're embarrassing yourself. And now back to the dog. So the dog, you know, the defense isn't that, like, if I was the defense, I'd be like, no, we're getting to the bottom of this shit. You know, they are just like using resources for other things, I guess. But because to me, I don't believe this is 𝗄𝗃 for a second. I do not believe this is 𝗄𝗃 because it's so shady. If it was 𝗄𝗃, they'd be so fucking happy to show. Come on, 𝗄𝗃's dead. Stop it. There's no 𝗄𝗃. Stop it. There's no evidence. They wouldn't be hiding the dog if it was really 𝗄𝗃. So anyway, I would want it simply because I think that if they're able to find this dog and prove that it's not 𝗄𝗃, think of that headline. Like, you lied. If you can catch them in a lie that, oh shit, you lied to the court. And Auntie Bev probably won't even give a shit. Let's be honest. She doesn't care about lying when they lie. But you know, I just thought that it would be really cool, you know, to catch them in a lie. Yeah, let's take a little poll. I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna do a little poll here. Start a poll. Is 𝗄𝗏 alive? Okay. Let's see. Let's see what people say. It says 𝗄𝗏 alive. Let's see what people say. Wow. 97% say no. 300 votes in, and 95%, 96% say no. Okay. You know. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like, but I would just like to prove that they're liars. To me, that would be the fun, because you're right. Like they can't, it wouldn't, I don't even know what the defense would do with 𝗄𝗏 if 𝗄𝗏 was really alive and they got a hold of her. I don't know what they'd do with it, because there's no swabs on the dog. Okay. And let's not forget this little doozy that people forget from the trial.
It would be important, however, to know whether or not there were obvious inhibitors on the source item when it was swabbed.
Knowing that there's dirt would be helpful, or possibly blood, because those can inhibit, but not necessarily. We don't necessarily have to know that ahead of time.
Were you told in this instance that the swabs were taken from a garment that had blood on it?
No.
Is blood an inhibitor?
It can be, yes.
So blood inhibitors are things, they detected inhibitors on John's swab of his clothing. Inhibitors are agents that mask the existence of DNA. So the fact that they found inhibitors on John's clothing means that if there was DNA on the clothing, it would not be seen because there were inhibitors there masking it. That's what this testimony is.
Is garment dye an inhibitor?
Yes.
Were you told that there was blood on
His
a
wounds.
dye
He didn't
garment
have
when he
wounds.
swabbed?
He's a guy.
Your report indicates that the swabs that you did test, these two swabs, quote, did not indicate the presence of canine nuclear DNA, but did indicate the presence of inhibitors, end quote, correct?
That was in our qPCR.
Right. You explained that, quote, this result is obtained when either, number one, the canine nuclear DNA is degraded. Is that right?
Correct.
Number two, it's, quote, obscured by inhibition, end quote.
Quote.
Or number three, there is no canine nuclear DNA present, correct?
Correct.
So in your report, you indicated that there are three reasons that you list for the possibility of not finding or not detecting the canine nuclear DNA in that sample.
Correct.
All right. Two of those three reasons allow for the idea that the DNA is actually present, but it's either obscured by inhibitors or it's so degraded that it can't be detected.
The nuclear DNA.
Right. But it still could exist.
It could, yes.
It could.
It's just not, you can't see it if it's obscured, and
Yes.
you can't see it if it's degraded.
Correct.
There you go. There you go. So there could easily be dogged if Michael Proctor actually swabbed the shirt and not his asshole, which is also entirely possible because they found pig DNA on it and he's a pig. If he actually swabbed the shirt, then the fact that there's inhibitors on there means that DNA would not be detected from a dog if it was actually on there. Boom. It's all fucking completely useless. All of it. But, you know, Auntie Bev doesn't care about shit like that. And yeah, bleach is another one. You know, detergent. There's a lot of things that could act as inhibitors, I guess, that would kind of mask that. So yeah, what does Auntie Bev say though in her stupid little jab at the end there? Her attaboy for 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 says her opinion is inconsistent with the findings that there was no canine DNA in the area of the victim's clothing. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Who cares? It's inconsistent. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Auntie Bev. It is inconsistent with the fact that there was no canine DNA. You're right. You're so close. You're getting there, Auntie Bev. You're getting there. The fact that John's arm, that the doctor says that those are dog bites, and that the swabs say there's no dog DNA. Those are, in fact, inconsistent statements. I agree completely. Now, ask yourself, why are they inconsistent? Why are they inconsistent? Could this doctor, what do you think is more likely, Auntie Bev, that this doctor who has performed hundreds of autopsies with dog bites, right, who wrote books about dog bites, peer-reviewed articles about dog bites, read a million things about dog bites, do you think it's more likely that she's wrong or that the Commonwealth isn't being completely forthright about those swabs? Or that maybe that, inhibitors hid the fact that DNA was on John's clothing? You tell me. I don't know. What do you, because she's right. She's not wrong to say this. They are inconsistent. It is inconsistent to say that these are dog bites if there's no dog DNA on the shirt. She's so close to figuring it out, but this isn't the win. It's like, bro, exactly. Because y'all are corrupt. You plan it. You know what else is inconsistent? The fact that the Canton police didn't find any taillight, but the state police did. And they looked in the same area. That's also inconsistent. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this whole investigation. You're so close to figuring it out there. You're so close. However, the court concludes that these issues go to the weight of her testimony, not its admissibility, and can be addressed in the cross-examination at trial. Okay? And so so it's denied, this motion to exclude her. So these idiots, all they did was give Dr. Marie Russell a chance to kind of, now she knows what Hank's going to ask. Now she can be even more upfront and, and more precise and, quick on her feet and have real fast answers for him. She knows exactly what he's going to say. And these fucking morons are so stupid. They're like, oh, this was a win for us because we, now we got to expose her to all this shit. And next time Hank's really going to get her. Oh yeah. That was the plan, guys. Right. Hank's out here playing chess and we're all just playing checkers. Don't you know, guys, the plan the whole time was to get denied. That was Hank's plan, was to lose it. He wanted to lose this. Who would have guessed that? Like, picture that's like saying all these, if this got allowed and she was not permitted to testify, do you think any of them would be saying, fuck, we lost? No, you fucking idiots. You absolute idiots. So they just can't admit when they took an L. And let me tell you, Hanky 𝗵𝗵 is taking nothing but L's. It's not going well. He tried and failed to get Bill and Janet Reed's cell phones. That was a stupid idea to begin with. And he lost it. Then he tried to get ABC to hand over their records because maybe Karen Reed confessed to murdering John O'Keefe when she met with 2020, and then they just never aired it. Maybe that got denied. Then they brought in Man Shannon, who didn't know the difference between bytes and bits, and wrote a whole report about how there should have been more information on the chip off. And by the way, it's been like a month and a half now since they did the chip off. Have you guys heard anything about that? I mean, this Commonwealth has more leaks than, a group chat involving freaking the fake victim in them. Like, it's got, they give everything to the trolls on Twitter now. Like Plevin gets it. Like they are using these people to amplify their message. If there was anything of value on that chip off, they would be gloating about it right now. There's nothing. They're not going to find shit I don't know what they think is going to happen in the second trial. I can't wait. I can't wait for the second trial. I'm sure Karen Reed would rather not go through it, but it's happening. It's definitely going to happen. And the key this time is making sure the jury understands reasonable doubt. That's it. Making sure that the jury understands that there is mountains of reasonable doubt that you cannot convict someone. That was not clearly described to them by the judge or by the defense in closing arguments. It was a really historical speech that Alan Jackson gave, but it was the kind of speech you give when you think you've won the game already and you're just kind of like doing it for the cameras, like now you gotta go back to the basics. You gotta describe what reasonable doubt is and let these people know why they can't do this, why they cannot convict this woman, because she's factually innocent. You can't bring up the FBI investigation that yielded all the shit. You can't do it. But we'll see. We'll see. So Spanky's having a tough time. And all I heard for so long was what a baller Spanky is. My God, my boy, Hank Brennan is going to come here and fuck shit up and blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's going to be so great. And all I've seen is a $75,000 pussy. That's all I've seen. Just a loser, a guy coming in losing motion after motion after motion, showing his cards, showing that he's insecure, and showing that the only way that he can try to beat Karen Reed is by lynching Karen Reed, is by preventing her from having a defense. That's the only way that he can do this. He's scared. He's scared of Dr. Russell. He's scared of Richard Green, and he's especially scared of the 𝗫𝗏 experts. So you can bring Richard Green and you can force, Karen Reed to pay the expenses for all these people to fly out here and blah, blah, blah. But at the end, you're not going to silence him. And I think the whole purpose is to, make her pay for all this shit. All right. Oh, yeah. And Proctor's hearings tomorrow. Oh, he's at February hearing? I did not know that. I've not seen that anywhere. But, he does have his hearing tomorrow. So will Proctor get canned tomorrow? What do you guys think? I don't know how long it takes. I've got some people telling me that it's pretty good chance he's getting canned tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they're going to throw that guy under the bus. The question is, why is he going to be silent? I guess to save himself, because he's not in jail. I guess that's why he's going to be silent, is because if he hasn't been arrested. If he was arrested, if and when he's arrested, that's a game changer. That is a game changer if and when Proctor is arrested. But as of now, he's got no reason to snitch because he's not in jail. He has no leverage. So nobody's being like, well, give us McDonough. Give us McDonough. Oh yeah, I guess McDonough's going to be right tomorrow. If they actually fire him tomorrow, McDonough's going to say, told you guys, I was the first to report it 3 months ago, and now it's come true. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I should report that, Karen Reed's going to be, guys, breaking news. Karen Reed's found not guilty by the jury that doesn't exist yet. Then when she's found not guilty, I'll be like, I had it the whole time. I had a source in the state police who told me that. Watch, he's going to come out of retirement to say that. But all right. Olivia Lambo had a good tweet on this I wanted to bring up. She always has great tweets. Love Olivia. So she had an interesting take on it. I just want to read this out loud to the class. She says, another ruling favorable to Karen Reed. What about it was favorable? So she has a different take. The tens of thousands of dollars she had to pay for her expert and lawyers' times, flights and accommodations, the valuable wasted time she could have spent on far more important issues. Good point. Allowing for a 𝗺𝗏 hearing on an expert Kearney already qualified is nonsensical given the lack of any factual support shown by the Commonwealth evidencing a change in her qualifications from the first trial. This only prejudiced Karen Reed by the enormous and unnecessary expense both of time and resources, something which the Commonwealth seems to have a limitless supply of. How is that fair? Further, it prejudiced the defense by giving the prosecution yet another bite at the apple, something Kearney specifically only allowed in the form of a voir dire of Russell during her testimony at trial 1 as a remedy for the defense's unintentional late disclosure. If Kearney deems admissibility of this overwhelmingly qualified expert a close question, then what does that mean for the defendants who can't afford experts of Dr. Marie Russell's superior caliber? I mean, that's a great point. It's like, do we not have, if she was a close call, what is the guy who can't afford shit going to do, who can't fly her out here and pay for her hotels? What is that defendant going to do? It wouldn't be fair to them. How is it fair for Reed? Why even include her in that rule? Why even include that in a ruling that it was close? It's legally unnecessary and irrelevant. Either the expert's qualified or they're not. She cited no relevant facts to support why admissibility of her testimony was a close question, let alone why it was a question at all, particularly given she'd previously ruled it not to be. Can you identify an expert whose evidence would make them better tailored to qualify as an expert to aid the jury in understanding the medical causation of the distinct set of injuries presented in the case? The Commonwealth certainly couldn't. That's the other thing. It's like, do you guys have an expert who's going to say that those aren't dog bites? I know you claim to have a dog guy. Is he going to say that those aren't dog bites? Are you sure of that? Because you said that Dr. Kinsey said that they weren't dog bites, but Kinsey also said that they weren't from a car either. So what are you going to say? You know, how does it draining a defendant of her resources to defend herself in order to requalify an already qualified medical causation expert constitute repeatedly giving the defense a lot of room to defend? The only repeated thing, who said that? Interesting. The only repeated thing Judge Kearney has done here is force Karen Reed to bear the repeated expense of flying her same expert out 4 times now, when 3 of those times were unnecessary and she had been logistically accommodating or lawfully minded would have been eliminated. Anything but a denial would have been an error. Treating it like a favorable ruling to Karen Reed. Jesus, Olivia. Jesus, can we have a little fun here? So pessimistic about this. Is wholly dismissive of how prejudicial, even entertaining Hank Brennan's frivolous and erroneous Daubert motion was in the first place. Many have complained about the judge because she sanctions the defense for unintentional late disclosures, yet fails to hold the Commonwealth to these same standards. Correct. Many have complained about the judge because of the comparatively exceptional low standard she has for qualifying admissibility of expert testimony. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she could go on and on and on. I guess her main take here is, so this is the quote she was tweeting from this guy. He's a moron. It says, Judge Kearney makes another ruling favorable. Another ruling. Oh, shut up. Favorable to Karen Reed. She had no choice. Many have complained about the judge, but she has repeatedly given the defense a lot of room to defend. Oh, right. Also known as like your civil rights, like to defend yourself. I don't know. Expect a more vigorous cross-examination at the retrial. Right. Sure thing. We're so scared. Right. Okay, cool. All right. Let me read a couple donos here. All right. Or a couple turtle chats. All right. Naomi sends $50 and says it's pretty low. I'm pretty new to this. Sorry, I have a contact situation going on right now. It's bothering me, but so if I'm like blinking a lot, it's like towards the end of the day, the contacts get like stale. You know, they need to come out crusty, if you will. I'm pretty new to the support group for you, Karen Reed, Sandra Birchmore, and Justin Root. I'm traveling the next 2 weeks, and I was wanting to spread the info on this crazy circus here in Norfolk County. Any chance there is a written or recorded summary of both Karen's case and yours? Or should I just print out a list of all the streamers that are covering the cases? Thank you for your precious time, Doctor. You know, I've written a 465 part series on this. You could start there. You go through my Twitter account, or you could just watch the 30-minute video that we put up a year and a half ago called Framed, which has almost 500,000 views on it, and just kind of, it's like a refresher course, but so much has happened since we made Framed. But yeah, I wish I could give you better advice, but I guess I would just start at part 1 of the Can't Cover Up series with TV Daily News. Thank you, Naomi. Donnie sends $10, goes, please settle a debate. Worcester or Worcester? Well, it's Worcester. 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 There you go. That's where we're from. I appreciate you and everyone for what you do for justice. It's just a funny thing that came up tonight. Not Worcester. I mean, some people say Worcester. 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 Thank you. Cunt Lover in Saugus sends $10 and says, hey, Doc, can you please say the word cunt 5 times just to piss off the people when you say cunt? Cunt, 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 cunt. Yeah, that's 5. There you go. Thanks. And free Kearney. Again, you put money in the machine and I will say what you want me to. That's how I do. I'm not like, some people who take $2,000 donations and then censor the very generous donation given in spite of Turtleboy. I would never do that. Courtney sends $10, goes, I know you don't follow the Alec Baldwin trial. I did a little, but his case was dismissed because of the prosecutor's unethical Brady violations. They hid evidence. Now he's suing the entire DA's office in their personal and professional capacities. Interesting. In New Mexico, it's going to be a landmark case and one that the rulings could establish some precedent for other cases, such as Karen's or mine, when she's hopefully sues Massachusetts and the DA's office after she's found not guilty. I don't know how far her lawsuit's going to go to sue afterwards, like who you sue or anything. And I think that this whole hung jury definitely weakens her civil suit because, a jury was hung on this. It's like, can you sue them for that now? I mean, they convinced some people that she did it. Obviously, that's a problem. My civil suit with the state is going to be bigger because it's like, we've got evidence now. We got some shit coming in the pipelines, boy. Let me tell you, as a reporter, it's hard not to talk about these things, but I know some shit. Michael Proctor, Kerry Roberts, Jennifer McCabe. I know what you guys have been doing. I know what you did. We'll talk soon. We'll see you guys soon. But there's that. Okay. Next up. 𝗺𝗺 sends $10 and goes, roses are red, Lally's a dong. Kevin from Southeast is Higgins. You wrong. Kevin from Southie is Higgins. You wrong. That's a good one. I like that one. Thanks, 𝗺𝗺. Kim sends $25, goes, dumb time. Can you please beg Microdots to release the next video that he trailered this week? Please. Thank you, Kim. So with Microdots, Richie, if you're watching, Kim wants to see your next video that you trailered. So she's looking forward to that. So whenever you get around to it, pal. Thank you, Richie. Steve from Middlesex County, Vargas, sends $10 and says, Kearney's new attorney, 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃, was awesome in Dr. Russell's hearing. He's like Brother Mouzone from The Wire. Ooh, I like that. I like that reference. Behind the soft-spoken, respectful mannerisms is a killer. Glad he's on our team. Thanks for all you do, Doc. Well, it's a little bit like Brother Mouzone. He's a new hired gun that appears in season 2. Like he wasn't in season 1. All of a sudden, this guy named Brother Mouzone appears. And it's like, but Brother Mouzone doesn't work for free unless he's pro bono. He's doing this for free. Brother Mouzone cost Avon Barksdale an arm and a leg, because Weebay was locked up and Stinkum and Bird was in jail. Stinkum's dead. And, you know, let's be honest, Stringer Bell was a pussy and really wasn't about that life. So he needed muscle, and he had to pay for Brother Mazzone's services. Whereas 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 with that one. All right, next one. Let me just refresh this, make sure I didn't miss anyone. The Wire people out there will get it. You guys will get the reference, but that's a good one. Everything's coming back to The Wire. Lacey sends $10, goes, go Bucks. Go Buck. Well, who the Buck? Go Buckeyes. OHIO OSU National Championship winners. 2025 Scarlet and Gray. Okay. P.S. Interviewing 𝗄𝗲𝗄𝗃 Machado Thursday 7 to 9 on my live X video space. Come with questions. Thank you, Lacey Meeks. I appreciate that. And yes, 𝗄𝗲𝗄𝗃 Machado will be. 𝗄𝗲𝗄𝗃 Machado has moved on from the Fall River Reporter. According to what I've seen, she is just looking. There's a professional agreement there where she's looking to do more investigative journalism and national stories, whereas the Fall River Reporter wanted to go with a more localized reporting. You know what I mean? Like fire over here, kitty in a tree, more local news, politics here in a city council meeting, shit like that. And it's just not her passion. So good for her, for following. I mean, don't do something you don't want to do. Like, you don't get stuck in a job where you're putting out, if you don't go to work every day and put out content that makes you happy. I mean, maybe I should hire her. I don't know what I'd ever do, but or if I could even bring someone on. Like, I've never had like an employee. I work alone. That's my thing. But maybe we can find something for her to do here. I don't know. All right, cool. All right, cool. They wanted to send her to 𝗄𝗏 St. Fall River at midnight. I'd be like, no, what's 𝗄𝗏? What's 𝗄𝗏? I don't even. Oh, 𝗄𝗏 Street. 𝗄𝗏 Street. Is that a bad street in Fall River? I don't even know. Okay. All right. So I think I got a couple cash apps here. Let me bang through these. We have so far in the cash app, Meatball Morrissey sends $25 and it just says personalized note. Okay. Thank you. Erica sends $25 and then $5, which brings it to $30, and says, save the date. Big A yard. I don't know what Big A is. Big A yard sale. 5/11 to 12/5. All right. So thank you very much. So Big A, what's the Big A? And that's Erica Madden, of course, from the Star Drive-In. So I'm not sure what Big A is, but maybe she can let me know. But that is on 5/11. It's a while from now, so we got time. The trial will be going then, so nicer weather. Somebody just alerted me to some news. I got to see if I can find this out. Our boy Frankie, free my boy Frankie Kergan, the guy who made the hostage video. Apparently, there was some news in his case today that I need to look into here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Abuse prevention order violate. Okay. Disposed by plea. Did he? Oh, no violation of probation found. So he wasn't found not guilty. So Frankie, who made that hostage video last month or a couple months ago, in which he was like, Aidan, you gotta treat the fake victim with respect. I'm like, what? Who's got a gun to this guy's head? right now. That's not the Frankie I spoke to. Anyway, he was in jail. He was the fake victim's baby daddy who was in jail at the same time as me for the same exact shit. Assault and battery, and then violating an order when she went and sat in his car and wouldn't leave. And then on the docket, there was like he had a new warrant issued on December 27th because it wouldn't be a Christmas with her if she didn't send someone to jail. And then on the 10th, according to the docket here, what is this for? Abuse prevention violate. This is the same case I'm looking at. Francis Keegan. Case, does it end in 8-9 in this case? Oh, that's a different case. Hold on, am I looking at the wrong case? I do not see this case ending in 8-9. I don't see that. Hold on. Somebody just sent me it. And I'm like, it says here on the docket that I'm looking at, Commonwealth versus Francis Keegan Jr. Abuse prevention order violation on 7/18/2023. Oh, this would be in Rentham District Court. I forgot he's got different cases. I'm looking in Dedham's docket. Hold on. Okay. I'm on Dedham. I forgot Walpole, which is where this fake crime took place, is in the Rentham District Court. Yeah, so it says here that he was called in for, I'll just put, oh, I finally got it. Okay, here it is. Mass Courts is being so slow today. And it just says on January 14th, event result, probation violation, first appearance scheduled on 1/14. Has been held. The hearing is no probation violation found. No violation found after hearing. Let's see if there's a, let's see what this says. There's a picture here. So Frankie was not sent back to jail, I guess. Let's see what this is. All right, it just says no violation of probation found. 1/14. So he's not going to jail. So good for Frankie. Okay, there you go. He avoided jail for now, but he'll be back. Anyway, that's that. All right, cool. Is there any other donos here for the Cash App? I don't want to miss anyone. We have 𝗺𝗏𝗃𝗃. I think that's how you pronounce it. It says, hi, doctor. Hello, 𝗺𝗏𝗃𝗃. How are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. And now let me check the turtle chats in case we're missing any. Yeah, we got Steve sends $5 and says, dump truck is looking hot. Yeah, I don't know. But I think she uses little filters there. I don't think that's what she really looks like, dude. I would not fuck dump truck with Irish Demon's dick. No, thank you. Okay. Our good friend Deanna Corby also has sent a turtle chat. And she says, the national standout. Yeah, the national standout, guys, happens. That is on. I just want to make sure we have the right time here. Let me get the give me one sec. All right, let me pull this up here. So we have on January, I think it's the 19th. Who is Dump Truck? You got to go back and listen to the old shows. Dump Truck, long story. It would take all night to get into Dump Truck. What a loser she is. But she also lives in Medfield and is on welfare. So there's that. So current list of national standouts updated for the 19th. We have Auburn, Massachusetts. from 1 to 3. I'm just going to put this in the chat if you guys want to. Right there. Okay. Where'd it go? Auburn, Massachusetts. Then the 10 o'clock in Dedham with Dennis Sweeney. Dayton from 10 to 2. Let's see. Everett. Oh, we got one in Everett. That's a new one. From 11 to 1. We have Leominster. That's a usual. We've been to that one many times from 12 to 2. Middleborough from 10 to 12 or 1. New Bedford from 11 to 1. Plymouth from 11 to 1. Stoneham from 11 to 1. Taunton to be decided. That's always a big one. The Taunton Green. Weymouth from 11 to 1. Woburn. That's always a big one from 9 to 11. It's right near Stoneham too. And Worcester, another one from Worcester. There wasn't one in. It wasn't. I went to the Worcester one last time. No one was there, but they have one at Kelly Square this time. In Rhode Island, we got one at Warwack from 11 to 1, and New Hampshire, in Salem, New Hampshire, from 11 to 1. So go check those out, and thank you for the reminder, Deanna Corby, who is a great person who helps a lot with all this stuff. So thank you. All right, let me pull up here one more thing that I need to bring up. So there is let's see, a swag bag giveaway. I'm just going to put it in the comment. Let's see. So only swag bag giveaway. $5 gets you an entry. A 12x5 framed sign of the, I already signed this thing. Okay. Of that, you got the canvas free Karen Reed sign, the Stanley with the silicone turtle. Nice. The FKR and duck straw covers, the koozie, the 2 mugs, Turtleboy keychain, backpack, free Karen Reed baseball hat, a whole bunch of shit. $5 an entry. Again, this is a giveaway, not a raffle, a giveaway. And you can cash app it to Uncle Turtleboy to do that. And just let us know when you got to post the screenshot of in the comments of this. So I'm going to go, I got to share this. And it's a fundraiser. So that would be great. If you guys want to help with my legal defense, that'd be fucking awesome. I could use it. I'm not going to lie. And yeah, that'd be great. There you go. All right, cool. Let me pull up. Let's watch it. You know what we need to watch a little bit because the trolls are all freaking out over it. Vinnie Politan was actually based for a short while there. Do you guys see Vinny's thing that they're all mad about Dr. Russell? Let's pull this up. Watch this for a few minutes. Yeah, this one. Karen Reed prosecutorial madness. So he's got his own channel where he's allowed to say things that they can't say on court TV because he's got, they probably don't let him be too biased. They let Julie Grant be as biased as she wants, but I guess Vinny's not allowed to. So, but he kills it. Let's listen.
Be trying to brush over some things and try to take something and turn it and twist it to win the case. No. Your job is to just lay out the facts as they are, make the argument, and tell the jury how the facts, when applied to the law, equal guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It's really that simple. Defense attorney is much different, first of all. Like, they have no obligation, number one. Number two, their job is to protect the rights, to make sure that their client does not get convicted if the prosecution has not provided the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. So it's a layer of protection.
48:30 to 5
and sometimes
minutes.
people who have committed the offense are found not guilty. Our system is set up that way to set guilty people free before one innocent person gets convicted. And that's why the roles are so different. And that's why defense attorneys are given more leeway and have no ethical obligation to the truth. Whereas that is the ethical obligation of the prosecution. Okay, so now you lay that out and it makes sense. It's the way the system works. It's the way that people can be prosecuted, but we don't give complete and total power to prosecutors, right? They have the burden, they've got to prove it, and we give a little bit of an advantage.
Was he really? He was flipping out?
Ethical obligations of a defense attorney.
So Vinnie Politan, I am quite positive 100% believes that Karen Reed is not guilty. And I would go so far as to say completely innocent. But he's got to play this character on TV who's like, ooh, I'm looking at it from both sides and blah, 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 blah. He doesn't believe that. Like every indication would show that he doesn't seem to believe that at all. At all. So, because he's not stupid. Again, you have to be extremely stupid to believe Karen Reed did this, like period.
Sometimes they don't like it when I point this out, that they don't have an obligation to the truth, but they don't. And if they did, then the system couldn't work, because if they knew that their client did it, they're going to agree with the prosecution. How is that a system of justice? That doesn't work. So that's why it's different. So why do I lay all this out? 'Cause I've been saying this for years and years and years. So what's happening here? What is the madness that I'm talking about? Well, the first step of the madness is you have an office. The Norfolk County DA's office has 130 employees. They're not all lawyers. Some are investigators, some are support staff, etc. I get it, but it's a big office. It's 130 employees. Yet they don't have one person in there that they believe can prosecute this case. So they have to go out and spend, I think it's $75,000 to bring in an outsider. And that's
such a great fucking underrated point that isn't brought up enough. Like, why is Hank Brennan brought in? Like, how are the taxpayers okay with this? Like, we literally pay taxes so that we have a district attorney's office. This would be like the police being like, well, we need to hire like an outside agency that's not a government, subsidized police agency to investigate this. Like, we need to bring in like some Pinkertons or some shit. Like, a bunch of private investigators are going to do this job for us. It's like, no, we pay you to do this. No one can do this. You had to bring in Hank Brennan. Like, how? They've never answered that, and no reporter has ever asked them that. Is any like reporter, like Crawford had a good rant about a week ago about all this shit. It's like, is Christina Rex or any of these people gonna ask about the fact that Brian Tully and then weaponized the fake victim who is now on tape telling a woman that she's gonna murder her and her children, and that this person put me in jail, a journalist put me in jail on a lie? Like, are they going to address? Are we just going to pretend that we didn't see this? The federal letters, like, they're not covering anything. They loved covering my arrest. I was all over that. And then when I was arrested and sent to jail again, they loved that. And they love to talk about, oh, he's charged with witness intimidation. But they don't like to talk about the details of it, because the details are so fucked up. Like, it's like, how do they not want to get to the bottom of it? It's like they're just going to wait for my trial and then they'll talk about it. Whatever comes out of trial. It's like, and they did the same thing with Karen Reed. The pretrial shit, they all just ignored it. And then the trial starts happening, and all of a sudden all these reporters have an interest in it, and they're all over every fact. Like, okay, right. All right, back to this.
That's why I think things have gotten a little bit crazy here. Okay. And that's because they've hired someone who's a good attorney, really good attorney, but he's really a defense attorney. And the way he is trying this case right now is like a defense attorney, but he's a prosecutor and he's trying it like a defense attorney. What do I mean by this? What do I mean? What do defense attorneys do before trial? We have all this pretrial litigation. Everything they do is they file motions to get evidence excluded, right? They try to get evidence suppressed or excluded.
The defense
they want
does.
to keep stuff from the jury,
right,
because it makes their client look guilty, right? But that's what defense attorneys are supposed to do.
Now think of this. That's exactly what defense attorneys are supposed to do. They're trying to, their job, like it or not, is to try to prevent evidence to be presented at trial that hurts their client. Right? That's their job, like it or not. The prosecution is supposed to just seek truth and justice. That's what they're supposed to do. But yet, Hank Brennan, what are all these motions doing? Like, so what is keeping Marie Russell out? How does that help seek justice for John O'Keefe? If he wasn't bitten by a dog, then you should be able to cross-examine her and roast her pretty good, and the jury won't believe her, right? Like, that's, if you're that confident, why not just bring her out? Why try to silence her? Why try to prevent her from testifying? Oh, right. Because she can hurt her testimony that a dog did this hurts Brian Albert. Because Brian Albert owned Chloe. And he's got to extend, he would have to explain that, right? So that would be very problematic for Brian Albert. So He's acting as Brian Albert's defense attorney. Keeping Rick Green out. Who does that save? Jennifer McCabe, of course, because Rick Green says that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 because she did. Because it's a fact, it's undeniable. And at this point, it's not even up for debate. And it never has been up for debate the entire time. That's one thing we all agree on. It's not up for debate. Why keep the 𝗲𝗏 experts out if you seek truth and justice? Why is he trying to do that? Because they're saying because if Karen Reed didn't kill him, that means the people inside the house didn't it? So he is acting as a defense attorney. He is acting as a defense attorney for the McAlberts. So he's just doing the same shit Adam Lally did and acting as the McAlbert's lawyer.
That's what defense attorneys have to do to keep the system honest. But now we're in bizarro world where the prosecution is filing motion after motion after motion to exclude evidence and witnesses who testified in the first trial. Like that's what defense attorneys do. I get it. He is a defense attorney, but right now he's a $75,000 prosecutor working on one case.
A pussy.
And his approach to all of this is like a defense attorney. I'm going to win this case, and I'm going to win it by keeping evidence from getting in front of the jury.
He's pissed. He's pissed. Look at him. Look at that. He's pissed. Look at that face.
He's allowed to file these motions.
He's mad. This is Vinnie at home.
But just think about the mentality. Because when I think of our system of justice, I think about being a prosecutor, which I was, and defense attorneys, it's always about the bigger picture of what your job, what your role is, how it's supposed to work. So the system works. And the system is broken. I pointed this out on another video at some point. I don't know. I've said it on the air as well. Right now, in cities across this country, we have people who've been elected as local prosecutors and DAs in offices.
Oh, it gets a little political here.
Ran not to prosecute people,
yeah,
but to reform justice and set people free and not prosecute criminals.
Rachel Rollins.
Destroyed cities.
Rachel Rollins.
It's destroyed cities.
Oh, yeah,
It's made things more dangerous. It has upset the system because they're not concerned about the truth. They're not concerned about taking the facts and applying to the law.
George
they are concerned
Gascon.
about how many criminals can I set free?
Alvin
and they've
Bragg.
disrupted the system, and not in a good way. I believe here the same thing is happening, but in a different way, where the system and the roles are being disrupted and throwing things out of whack. Like a prosecutor who doesn't want the jury to see or hear things. Like if you've indicted someone who committed the offense that you've charged them with, put your evidence in. Let them put their evidence in.
Yeah.
Your evidence should be enough to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Exactly. Give it to them.
Because that's your job and that's your belief. It's almost to the point that you almost shouldn't care what they put in. Oh, they're going to bring in this expert to say this. Well, I'll get the expert who will say the truth, and you have a battle of the experts. Like it's really strange. I don't know if we haven't covered a lot of cases in Massachusetts recently. I don't know how things have changed, but why do we have prosecutors trying to keep evidence from being heard by the jury? To me, that just makes me skeptical. Skeptical as a prosecutor, skeptical as a legal journalist. Like, what are you doing? It's the same feeling I had in the 𝗫𝗏𝗺 case, which is very different than this case.
Yeah.
Very different. And again, this doesn't go to the ultimate truth of the case. This goes to how our system figures out the truth, which is important because it affects everyone and every case. If we start changing the system, like in 𝗫𝗏𝗺, the judge tried to prevent the defendant from having the counsel of his choice who had volunteered their time to try the case. It wasn't like they were asking for state money. They were just, he wants us to represent him. We want to represent him. And you're not allowing us, judge?
Really?
That was insane.
I did not follow the 𝗫𝗏𝗺
And if that
case.
becomes like a precedent that a judge can decide who gets to represent the defendant, like, no, that's up to the defendant.
That's
like
up.
in the Constitution.
Yeah.
So that's why this is upsetting to me, because it's bigger and goes beyond this case and this defendant. It's like, do we want prosecutors now to be of the mindset that our job is to win? And if the defense has a defense or has evidence they want to present, that we need to make sure the jury doesn't see it, the jury doesn't hear it? Does that sound like our system? It's a little strange. It's a little strange to me. It's a little foreign to me and to my mindset. My mindset always was, listen, I've got someone here who's been indicted.
See, it's like, did Vinnie just figure this out though? That's the part. Like, bro, it's what we've been saying the whole time. It's like the problem is it's because they're corrupt. Once you accept that fact, once you understand that, like, oh wait, Michael Morrissey's office is just a den of corruption, and this is standard for them. This is like they are all in on covering this one up, and they're not backing down. Right, like the feds didn't get them to back down. They're not backing down from shit. Once you understand that, it's like Vinny's like seems like a nice guy who thought that like these are decent people. Like, no, I figured out they weren't decent on April 18th, 2023. When I read up on the case and I realized, oh, wait, this is fucking horrifying. Like it all hit me real fast. And it's like, oh, wait, what story am I sitting on here? Holy fuck. This is the most underreported story ever.
Got my evidence here. All my evidence proves it. What are they going to put in there? All right, let them put in their evidence. My job as a prosecutor is cross-examination and make the argument to the jury as to why that evidence is ridiculous or makes no sense. So in this case, it's not just the dog bite expert from yesterday. It's Richard Green, their digital forensic expert, talking about the alleged Google searches, and now it's the accident reconstructionists. All of it. Like, they don't want the guys who did the investigation for the feds, for the FBI, who the defense called in the first trial. They don't want them to be permitted to testify. They don't want Richard Green, the one whose expert opinion was that the Google search, how long to die in the cold, was at 2:27 in the morning. They don't want him to testify. And as you saw in court, they don't want the dog bite expert, the doctor, the ER doctor for 30 years who's seen 500 bites, to give her opinion on what she saw. Now, you don't have to believe any of their opinions. Their opinions can be wrong. I've covered a lot of trials at Court TV. There have been a lot of experts who have given opinions that have not been believed by the jury. And we have battle of the experts. Well, if this expert is so wrong, put your expert on who can tell the jury why that expert is ridiculous and makes no sense. That's the way it works.
Give it to him.
That's the way you should want it to work. Like, if the other side has a case or has evidence, put it up there. I'm not worried about your evidence. I'm worried about the truth. And I'm putting my evidence out there that is the truth. And if yours isn't, I should be able to demonstrate to the jury that it's not the truth.
Exactly.
I think that's normal.
Yes.
That's what happens in normal trials.
Yes. Give it to him, Vinnie.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trials that we've covered on Court TV for decades. These two cases, 𝗫𝗏 and now Karen Reed, really had me like, what's going on? 𝗫𝗏, it was like the judge was seemingly doing stuff on her own, which was bizarro. This one, you brought in an aggressive attorney, but he's a defense attorney, and he's prosecuting this case like a defense attorney. And there's a different role that you have and a different mindset. And I'm sure, he was a prosecutor. He knows all this, but he also knows as a defense attorney the things that you do and the way you approach a case. And I'm not comfortable with it as a former prosecutor. And I've been attacked for years. When you're a prosecutor, you always take your side. It's all, everyone's guilty. This isn't even about guilty, not guilty. This is about how it has to work in order for the jury to figure it out. Like, I would get upset a lot.
This is refreshing, right?
When the defense would get evidence suppressed. And I'm like, let the jury see it. Let the jury hear it. Let the jury weigh it. Make your arguments, but don't hide stuff from the jury. The jury's trying to figure out what happened. The more information they have, the better. Always. And
yeah, I'm surprised they let him create his own YouTube channel like this, right? Like, he's kind of got his own. I've never heard of this before, like a network anchor guy, whatever. He's kind of like the face of Court TV, probably the most famous one on there. Does the nighttime, the primetime shit, and he's just allowed to have his own YouTube channel where he just riffs, and Court TV doesn't make any money off of this. He can make money off of it. He has super chats and shit. Like, it's interesting that they allow him to do this. Maybe they won't anymore, because the trolls are going to complain. The trolls were so mad about this rant. They did not like this.
Usually making this argument, and the roles are reversed. Like, the defense is trying to keep all this stuff from being in front of the jury. And I've attacked the defense for that. And I understand they're doing their job, but I'm like, I think in our system, the rules of evidence oftentimes put the jury in a place where they're not getting a clear picture of what happened. And 99 times out of 100, or maybe 999 times out of 1,000, it's because of what the defense is attempting to have suppressed. And yeah, we have a constitution, we have constitutional protections. And if the evidence was obtained illegally, it has to be suppressed.
Right. So he has a good, he goes, somebody said 4830. He has a good rant. Let me pull that up and see what it says. So somebody says here in a super chat, I like Vinnie, but he is so blatantly on the side of Karen Reed, I can't watch him on this topic. Well, let's see what he says here.
Ashley Bouchard, Hank Brennan defended 𝗿𝗏𝗆𝗆 and claimed government corruption. Interesting.
Well, wait,
right. Aggressive defense attorney.
Are they
doing this? Not watching anymore, but 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 Vanzetti, was it the governor? It may have been 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃𝗃𝗃.
Yeah.
𝗃𝗃𝗄𝗃𝗃 finally set 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 and Vanzetti free.
He loves 𝗃𝗏𝗄𝗃 and Vanzetti.
Not that they were still alive, but you know what I mean. Pardoned them or dismissed the charges. Judy Wright. I like Vinnie, but he's so blatantly on the side of KR. I can't watch him on this topic.
He's not, though.
Judy. I guess Judy's not watching anymore, but Judy goes beyond this case. It always goes beyond this case. I would not say I am blatantly on the side of KR. I'm calling and seeing it as I see it. I think the red rum charge is
murder.
Is clearly not guilty. I think this case should be about, did she accidentally do this or did she not accidentally do this? And I think that's where that first jury landed. I think that's where the first jury landed on all of this.
They did.
The first jury, based upon the statements they made afterwards, I think they saw it the way I saw it, which was, this was not red rum. This was not knowingly done. This was not purposely done. Boom. What they were debating was whether or not this was accidentally done by her. That's what they were debating. Some believed it, some didn't. Ashley Bouchard, Hank Brennan defended 𝗿𝗏𝗆𝗆 and claimed government corruption. Interesting. Right. Aggressive defense attorney doing his job. Didn't work, right? When he was convicted.
No, he was.
Okay. Nemelotus. I think I got that right.
It seems like they're.
It seems like they are interrogating the witnesses. That's good cross-examination. I mean, when you have a witness from the other side who's on the stand, it should be like an interrogation. Most judges won't allow you to scream or yell, but you can be sarcastic, you can be forceful, you can, attack.
Exactly
You can't cross. There's a line you can't cross. The line that we see sometimes in TV dramas.
It's like they expect everyone to be Julie Grant. Like that's what they expect. Or Plevin, or just some fucking ridiculous. Like, I mean, Julie Grant is not a serious person. She's like a fucking Botox joke. Like every time I see her on there, it's like you look at her and you're like, oh, that's why women couldn't vote until 1920. That's all I think of every time she talks. I'm like, oh yeah, she's just a fucking complete airhead who just the Botox has just destroyed her brain. There's no other way, to look at it. But okay. So yeah, Vinny, great job, Vinny. Good rant, good stuff. Let me read a couple turtle chats, and I got one more thing here I want to show you guys. Let's see. All right, Bill sends $10, goes, hey, Unc, I got a joke for you. What does fake victim's vag have in common? Oh, God. What is fake victim's vag? Again, I have to read it. He gave me $10. What does fake victim's vag have in common with you and KP? There's too much beef in the middle for either side to come together. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's too graphic. No one wants to hear that. So thank you. But you paid me $10. I got to say it. So thank you very much for the dono. Next up, Danielle sends $25. So since there was no cameras when you were in court, we couldn't see your face during the Plevin got lambasting. I mean, the grant. Can you share what your expression was? Would have paid to see that live. How could you keep a straight face? I had to keep it straight. It's like my testimony during that whole thing was like straight up, like first of all, she had just gotten going with her. You guys want to listen to it? Let's listen to the grant. We'll just listen to the grant part of this. I haven't really played it on this show, but let's just listen to the grant part because it's amusing.
Mr. Kearney.
No God.
On February 23rd, you were indicted on the wiretapping and witness intimidation charges. Mr. Kearney, you're charged with violating this order, and there's a pending criminal case in the Missouri court for that, correct?
That's correct.
And I am the named victim in that pending criminal case. Isn't that correct?
She's very proud of that. She's very proud of that.
An open felony case in the Missouri court related to the charges of wiretapping and witness intimidation against me, correct?
That's correct.
I'm also the named victim in those pending felony matters as well, correct?
I'm also the victim. Like it's like a.
You're also facing numerous other felonies in regards to witness intimidation and other charges, correct?
That's correct.
With other separate witnesses, correct?
That's correct.
Again, you're a bad person. I'm a victim. You're bad. It's like, okay, what does any of this have to do with the fact that you're not in fear and this order has no reason to exist?
Do you remember?
And people said, no, this is a real picture. I mean, the filter isn't real. That's not actually what her face looks like, but the shirt is real. This was her profile picture last November.
Or strike that.
Strike that.
45 of your YouTube channel on March 12th. You said the following, didn't you?
Didn't you?
And I'm quoting you. And hopefully that continues on Thursday because I don't want to go back to jail. That would suck, especially
don't.
for some bullshit lies.
Yeah.
This shit needs to end, man. This shit needs to end.
Right.
We have a great attorney and a great defense team. We're
Yeah.
gonna fight hard and we're gonna win. We're gonna take them down, man. I'm not going to jail. Fuck that. I already did my time.
Yeah.
If they send me back to jail, I know it would be somebody's like, yeah, people would riot. People would be fucking outraged because
It would.
When I was sent to jail for the first time, you guys didn't know about 𝗺𝗻𝗄𝗃𝗃𝗃. You didn't know her. Now you know. You said that, didn't you?
Yeah, I absolutely. Probably. I'm like, I can't be 100% sure because I don't have it in front of me, but it sounds like something I'd say. Yeah, I don't want to go back to jail. Of course I don't. And if I went back to jail, people would be upset because they know that I'm in jail because of a lying hoe. And people shouldn't go to jail because of lying hoes. Like people would be outraged. It's like, is that supposed to mean something? How does any of this explain why she needs a restraining order?
I'd have to hear it.
Another episode, did you also say Who's the scary one? Near them. Me? I'm the one that knocks, motherfucker. They should be a million times more scared of me than I will ever be of them because I'm a
So this is me talking about the McAlberts. Again, this is a good quote.
Right?
I'd have to hear it.
Another episode, didn't you also say, who's the scary one? Near them. Me? I'm the one that knocks, motherfucker. They should be a million times more scared of me than I will ever be of them because I'm a relentless, vengeful cunt hell-bent on putting them all in prison. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you, what does? And I got a large platform to do it, and I'm fucking smart and savvy, and I know what the fuck I'm doing.
I am.
You said that too, didn't you?
I don't recall saying that.
What the fuck's wrong with that? First of all, I believe that's a direct quote used in my other indictment with the McAlberts. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a vengeful cunt. And I am. Like, I want them to go to jail because they murdered John O'Keefe, and I think they should go to jail for that. I don't apologize for that at all. Okay. And now the Grant part's coming up, I think. Here it comes. Ready?
You mentioned that you sent me a video, which you described as showing you having a panic attack. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And in that video, isn't it true that you were walking down a dark highway, threatening to walk into oncoming traffic because I tried to break up with you? Isn't that right?
That's incorrect.
Isn't it true that you hung up?
Yeah, that's she never. We got a million text messages. She puts in text, "You dumped me. You dumped me." Blah blah blah. It's like that's just fake. All this lies. Like we don't have a million other texts to prove this is all a lie. But go ahead.
After.
Here we go. Here we go. Here it is.
Take that computer and leave the courtroom. This is the second time I've warned you. I'm going to make this as clear as I can possibly make this. Okay? Don't shake your head. Be quiet and listen. Okay, what's your name? Prince Vidal, all right. Sir, you should not ask.
So that's from my perspective. So to answer your question, so my peripheral is I'm sitting in the box. It's got one of those COVID plastic plexiglass shit all around you. And fake victim is standing in front of me, not looking anything like this picture at all. And I am not looking at her as best I can. Like she's right in front of me, but I'm trying to look over to the left at, everyone else who's there to support me. And think happy thoughts. I don't want to look at this person. But once I have to look at them because it's like she's asking you questions. And the whole concept was so strange. Now, Grant is behind her. So at this point, I'm hearing Grant again. Let's listen to this again.
And leave the courtroom.
Isn't it true that you were walking down a dark highway, threatening to walk into oncoming traffic because I tried to break up with you? Isn't that right?
That's incorrect.
Isn't it true that you hung up
after? Stop. Take that computer and leave the courtroom. This is the second time I've warned you. I'm going to make this as clear as I can possibly make this. Okay? Don't shake your head.
Don't shake your head. He goes, stop. And then because he's like, no. He's like, no. Like he goes, don't shake your head. This guy's like a Marine. Don't shake your head. Now this part.
Be quiet and listen. Okay, what's your name? Prince Vidal, all right.
This is when he takes his computer, closes it, and just stands up and just goes like a Marine. He's like, Grant Spodolus, Your Honor. Grant Spodolus, Your Honor. He was so scared. He's just like, this is embarrassing. Like this was his worst nightmare. He gets called and she's sitting there. This is her guest who just fucking prepped her for this disaster that's happening right now. It's like a fucking comic book. She's getting legal advice for this guy. And he's just like, I'm like, this couldn't be going any better. Like this what is happening right now? This is my life. I'm sitting here being questioned by this fucking evil hag who won't leave me alone, who sent me to jail, is obsessed with me, won't go away, and is asking me, about rape and pregnancies and who broke up with who and what the fuck. And then Grant is there and Grant gets called out and yelled at by the judge. And I'm like, I don't know how I kept a straight face. I'm just like thinking in my head, like, this is fucking awesome. That's what I was thinking when this is that.
Sir, you did not ask permission to record this. You did not ask permission to videotape these proceedings. You have a laptop open. I can see the light illuminating throughout this proceeding. Don't shake your head. Keep listening.
Don't shake your head.
I'm warning you now. Okay. If I see you recording, if I see you videotaping in defiance of my previous notification to you not to do so, you'll be fined up to $2,000 and sentenced up to 90 days in the House of Correction for each contemptuous act that follows. You understand that? Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Computer and remove it from the courtroom. You are welcome back in, but the computer is not.
As soon as he heard that, and he just like he heard 90 days in jail. He's like, "Whoa, shit! I didn't sign up." How perfect would that be if she inadvertently got Grant sent to jail too? Would that and he didn't like? He'd be the first person that she sent to jail. That and I don't even want to talk about it. It's disgusting. Anyway, Yeah, I would love to see Grant in jail. Dude, that would be fucking hilarious. I would get a 𝗄𝗏𝗃 account and just immediately start messaging him. I would put money in his canteen because no one else would. Oh, what a life I lead. Okay, so thank you for that one. Next up with the turtle chats, Wendy sends $10, goes, where's Higgins now? And is he still employed and working out of Canton? Yeah, he's on like desk duty, I think, with the feds or something. I'm not entirely sure. He's still living in that cul-de-sac in down in Sandwich, you know, decorating himself. He's a decorated dude, you know. So thank you very much for that, turtle chat. Any others here? Please explain, sends $25 and goes, can the defendant have the prosecutor experts guarded? Also, good question. I mean, I guess they could, but that would cost Karen Reed's team time and money. And we know that the outcome, like the fix is in, Ian Whiffin's going to get in, Jessica Hyde's going to get in. So why waste time on it, you know? Can they spray the basement carpet? There was no basement carpet with that blue stuff to find where the blood is for swabbing. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen because there was no carpet in the basement. So thank you very much. Please explain. Frank sends $5 and goes, no, I already read that one. All right. Cash apps. Got a few here. Larisha sends another $5 and says, 𝗵𝗍𝗃 is in your email for the $20. I don't know what that means. What 𝗵𝗍𝗃? Hi. Oh, the message is in your email. Okay. And it says, my phone froze. In any case, I do believe Hank has other motives for the Daubert hearing. He's going to make sure she sticks to her answers at the hearing during the trial. He will attempt to impeach her based on the hearing during the trial. I think Hank knows that she will most likely be part of the trial again. You know, I've seen them say this too, and it's like it doesn't matter if her testimony is inconsistent from the Daubert hearing at all, because every single one of the Commonwealth witnesses is inconsistent with something else they said at a previous proceeding. So does he want to go there? Because I don't think he does. All right. Ashley sends $5 and says, for the swag bag. Okay, excellent. So don't forget to screenshot that, Ashley, and put it in. Okay. I got a few of them. Naomi sent one as well. Okay. So thank you, Naomi, for the swag bag. Same with Lacey Meeks, who also says, go Bucks. Once again. I mean, Buckeyes. Bucks. Okay. So Meatball Morrissey's Sketty Stain sends 5 and says, you didn't read my message. You have to click view. Oh, I do. Okay, hold on. For 25, he sent it earlier. Well, let me go back and view personalized note. It says, I'm still confused about why the Sullivan sluts showed up for court. The hefty one, the hefty one is always angry. And the hefty one has never come before. I've only seen her once. And the blonde, does she not realize she was and always will be the side chick with a dumpster baby? I think that's what it says. Fuck the Sullivan sluts. Yeah. I mean, yeah, didn't she got knocked up by John's partner who ended up committing suicide because he got 3 women pregnant at the same time? Like, that's who Laura Sullivan is. She's that kind of broad. She's like the 3rd chick who gets pregnant and is like, oh, Johnny is my, they call him, we call him the Godfather. Oh, I bet you do. I bet you do. None of these people gave a flying fuck about John O'Keefe. Not a single fucking one of them. They're all horrible. And she's there because she's just a cunt. That's the only reason she's there. She's a cunt. So that's why she's there. Hopefully, hope that clears that up. Okay. All right, cool. Last thing here. So as you guys saw, we are doing some suing of the law obviously I filed the thing on whatchamacallit on not Krusty, the fake victim. But you know, I'll give you some other examples of You guys want to see some other defamatory tweets that you can't? I'll show you some shit you can't say about a person if it's not true. Let's see if we can find some examples here, because I got receipts and I'm going to explain why these are defamatory. Okay, first one. How about this one? Didn't stop him, Aidan, me, from showing up to my kid's workplace and forcing her to get a new job. Yeah, that never happened. That nothing like that ever happened. And so if you're saying things that are untrue like that in order to harm my reputation, that's defamatory. You can't say that. I never showed up at your stupid kid's job. So there's that. Okay, what about this one? This whole thing is bananas, and I don't think people should get all worked up. He's a public figure. These statements are being made because they're factual. Yeah, except they're not. It's not factual. And we know them that they are factual because a lot of them stem from his own words and action. It's just a ploy to silence dissent and tamper with witnesses. I don't think it's going to turn out the way you think. And again, she has not been served yet. Will she be? Will she be on the list? I don't know. We'll see. She said anything else defamatory? What does this one say? Okay, so he's a pedophile. This is one where she says, I am a rapist. Oh, excuse me. Woo! That was a good one. I'm a rapist because I listed daddy. They got so mad about that. So that makes me a rapist, I guess. I listed daddy in there. How about this one? She wrote, multiple women have accused him of emotional, sexual, or physical abuse. Multiple women. That never happened. There's no multiple women accusing me of physical or sexual abuse. Literally no one. And here's another lie. There is the 14-year-old girl who accused him of sexual harassment at a football game. That literally never happened. There are no 14-year-old girls who have ever accused me of sexual harassment at a football game. That's never happened. And she's making this as a statement of fact. And it's simply untrue. And it's provably untrue. And she's got no sources to back up any of this shit. The multiple women who believe he may have taken advantage of them while they were intoxicated. Literally never happened. Never happened. Including the fake victim. You don't have to take advantage of her. She's not the kind of woman you need to take advantage of. Okay? It was, I don't want to talk about it. Okay? But it's completely fabricated and text messages are going to back that up. Okay? The women he claimed he sent unsolicited dick pics to. Well, he was still married. For the record, there have never been, I am always a gentleman when it comes to that. And the text messages will show that. There has never, ever, ever been an I don't do that. First of all, it's weird. Because what if they're not welcomed? Then they're not going to screenshot that and be like, this guy's a fucking perv. Like they're not, I'm also a public figure. I can't be going around sending around the intimidator. Unsolicited. Hey, you want to see my dick? No, it's not going to happen. That's absurd. Complete lie. It's literally never, ever happened. There are, I know some people do that, and that's wrong. There's an etiquette to dick pics. And, so this is all 𝗵𝗫. 𝗵𝗫 wrote all this shit. It's all bullshit. The multitude of women he threatened with blackmail involving sexual images, he coerced them to take. Oh, for fuck's sake. No one was coerced to take any sexual images. No one was threatened with blackmail. You can't just say this shit. You think you can, but you can't. It's untrue. And don't forget the women he emotionally blackmailed. And Alyssa found a really interesting one where the fake victim went to the Medfield police and tried to push this rape narrative in like early March or late February or some shit, and gave them a bunch of text messages from her phone. And the reports out there and people have seen it. Well, now my text messages are out there as well. And she cross-referenced. She looked at my messages and then she looked at what she submitted and she deleted an extremely graphic text message from her talking about something that was uncharacteristic of her, and it was just deleted. And, you know, give me a break. All right. And don't forget the women he emotionally blackmail with empty threats of suicide. Okay. He says rapey things all the time. He's a sexual deviant. He fantasized about a mother being raped in prison after being separated from her children. A thought he readily admits gives him an erection. You know, that might be hard to prove as defamatory, because in this clip, I say that, like, I can't wait for Jennifer McCabe to go to jail. That's the mother she's talking about. I get hard thinking about Jennifer McCabe going to jail and being separated from her kids. That gives me great pleasure. So that might not be defamatory, because that's what I mean. If you said something similar, I'll admit, if I said it, I said it. But all this other shit, none of that shit happened. What's this one? He is obsessed with sex and his own underwhelming penis. So to call my penis underwhelming is defamatory, actually, because it's not. It's like top 75th, maybe 80th percentile. Okay. It's not, 99th percentile, but who is? Like, I would say at least 75th, 80th percentile. Okay. And I'm not the one obsessed with it. And we got the text messages to prove that too. Okay. So there you go. There's that. And she brings up fucking t-shirts. So I guess I'm a rapist because of that. I guess I'm a rapist. Okay. What else? So this is all in some article she published saying, 15 reasons why I'm probably a rapist. And this is defamatory. He admits he took the victim out drinking. Well, we went out together. He admits that she consumed alcohol and was showing signs of intoxication. We both consumed alcohol. Like what? Like if nobody's allowed to drink alcohol and hook up? Is that what? So if you drink alcohol and you hook up with someone, then you are a rapist. Okay. He admits he digitally penetrated her at the bar. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. TMI. He admits he requested oral. Nope, that didn't happen. It's just like, I'm not even going to read this shit. We can disprove all this. Let's just put it that way. Now, this one. One time he claimed lots of women have rape fantasies while describing pedophilia as a sexual kink. That is defamatory. If you play the clip in this, I'm reading Matthew Farwell and Sandra Birchmore's text messages back and forth in which they talk about rape fantasies and shit. And I say, yeah, lots of women do have rape fantasies. That's just a fact. I'm not saying that Matthew Farwell is not a murdering pervert. I'm not saying that. I'm saying lots of women have rape fantasies. This is not like the only, I know a lot of people read those and were like, wow, that's insane. It's like, that's actually not as uncommon as you think. That's the point I was making there. And describing pedophilia as a sexual kink. No, I was not saying that, because talking about 15-year-old Sandra Birchmore is very different from talking about 23-year-old Sandra Birchmore. And I was referring to 23-year-old Sandra Birchmore. That's how old she was when she was sending those messages. Or 22 or whatever. She was an adult legally at that time. It's not pedophilia. It's pedophilia if he was doing it when she was 15. That's just, there's a fucking difference. So this is defamatory because I did not describe pedophilia as a sexual kink. I described people who are into consenting adults who are into rape fantasies as a sexual kink. Of course, Crusty Panties, probably has the least interesting sex life of anyone. I mean, it is probably drier than the Kalahari Desert down there. Like, it is probably unkempt. Like, just, I can't even imagine it. It is. So she knows nothing about kinks or, fun. She's probably, her obsession with me is not even sexual. I think she's asexual. It's bizarre. Okay. What is that? He is a chronic revenge porn distributor. Okay. Whatever that means. Revenge porn. What's this one? I don't even know what that one says. Let's see. He is driven by power and control. Right. You know who else is driven? You know what else is driven by power and control? Rape. Oh, well, I must be a rapist then. How about this one? This just proves the whole point. This idiot over here wants to speculate that the police involved in the investigation into rape. So there's no investigation into rape at all. Would testify to without any evidence to support the conclusion that they would testify it was consensual. So again, I hate that any of this is even being discussed at all, but you have to defend yourself, unfortunately. And nothing, there's literally a video of it. There's nothing that's not consensual in this. Okay. It's just not happening. There's no basis for that conclusion, but ample factual basis. The victim's own accounting of the evening. That's a factual. Aidan's own accounting of the evening. The existence of a police report released by Aidan. There was no actual malice here from any of us. So she's a legal expert. She's a legal expert, right? Listen to the woman who lost multiple attempts at getting a restraining order against me, has multiple restraining orders against her that she guaranteed would never happen. Like she has literally said this, too many times to count. I mean, back when Lauren Murray applied for an RO against her, she was insistent, right? That, like she is saying that I'm violated, I'm going to jail.
Like the police weren't watching it live. Like it wasn't recorded. Like there's going to be no evidence. He's a dumb fuck. It's too late. It's too late. You should have never done it. I'd like to think, like, what would you do? I was trying to think about this as this was going on. I don't think I would ever end up with a restraining order on me from a kid, right? That's never happened to me so far. I don't ever envision it happening in the future. But let's pretend that, like, the police knock at your door, you get a restraining order, and you see that the plaintiff is a child.
This is back when she brought her kid into court, the 16-year-old who threatened my children, lied about everything. It was ex parte, said I'm insane and I was going to come and kidnap her kid and shit like that. The judge granted a temporary order that was denied at the two-party hearing. And while it was in existence, the ex parte order, she spoofed my phone number to her kid's phone and then went to the police and said, he's calling my daughter. Go arrest him. And that's what she's like, he's going to be arrested. No, I'm not. But this
just like talk as much shit about me as you want. At this point, I don't give a fuck. Like my audience is bigger. My friends are cooler. I have more of a life. I have a job. No matter what he wants to say about my kids. Like
none of this is true.
I love them. We hang out. We have a good time. Like, are we perfect? No. Are we a little trashy? Yeah. Are we happy this way? We are. Okay. Fuck you. Right. Like, so I don't really care what he has to say about me, but don't put that on my kid who is now struggling to attend school because of the bullying that she's receiving. And he can go, oh, okay, it's just making that up. Except I have documentation from the school that I'm going to bring to the DA's office on this criminal charge. And I'm going to bring an order to extend the order so he can never, ever contact or post about my daughter again. Just leave kids out of it. It's that simple. You can't do that because you're a fucking weirdo. I think he's a pedophile. I'm going to say it out loud. Sue me.
Whoa. Oh,
you were grooming my kid and you keep offering to pick her up. I think you're a pedophile. Don't come near my family. My
well,
children.
So I said, I've.
So that's a little defamatory. You can't say that somebody's a pedophile and is grooming your kid if neither of those statements is true. You can't say it. So that's a little defamatory, it seems. What else is? Let's see. Any other ones? Oh, this is her after she got a restraining order on her.
But I've never lost to him in court, right? One time.
Oh, she
One time I had a temporary harassment order that was not extended. Obviously, 3 years later, we can look back and go, huh. Maybe it should have been extended because he
Yeah,
didn't
the
fucking
judge-
quit, right?
The
That's
judge
not a
messed up.
loss.
Yeah.
It's not a loss.
Oh, it's
a
not a
win-or-lose
loss.
situation with a
Oh,
fuck is
it's not a
wrong with
loss.
You go into court
Oh,
because
yeah.
you ask for protection, and that's it. Now, meanwhile, Aidan has tried to get harassment orders on me. What is it, 3-4 times now? He's never gotten a temporary one because I've never fucking harassed the piece of shit. And he's never had one issue at the 2-party hearing. Never happened. If anything, I wait until it's legitimate harassment, which is why, as far as going in ex parte as of right now, I am 2 for 2. I am fairly confident, unfortunately, and I will say this, preface this, unfortunately, I am fairly confident, unfortunately, that when the court date rolls around, and he's the one posting about all this too, like I did not post about this fucking order, put it up, tag him, brag. I didn't want to make it like that. I just wanted to protect my fucking kid. That's all I wanted to do, right? Not make a show of it. But he has to because he's a piece of
totally
shit,
not.
right? But I'm confident that when I have to go back into extend this, that it will be necessary and therefore it will be granted. And unlike Aidan, like I don't want it to have to be necessary because
Yeah, except it wasn't granted. She was pretty convinced her stupid she could use her kid as a prop in order to get an order on me. And I believe the judge's exact words were, "This one's not even close," I think were his exact words. And here's another one. What else do we have here? This is when Tony Branch sued me. So this fake bishop named Tony Branch, is grifting douchebag, race baiting asshole who turned out to be a pedophile too. After he sued me, I also found out he was a pedophile, like a legitimate one. Because I spoke with his ex-wife who he had sex with when she was 15 and he was an adult. Yeah. And so he sues me, and in her expert legal opinion, I was fucked.
Well, spoiler alert, Mr. Branch is not a fake bishop. He is ordained. So it's kind of damaging to one's professional reputation for someone to go out and allege that your professional credentials are not legitimate. So
the court said that it wasn't defamatory. How about this one?
And why would you think that he couldn't talk about it? Well, he couldn't talk about it because he is probably going to get smoked. So.
And then I won. Again, if you believe anything she says,
Right. Well, she's real good at fooling stupid people. Like that is a skill. I mean, you look at her audience and stuff. Hey, you were stupid. I got stupid a little. We made the mistake. I'm talking about the ones that even after this are going to blindly defend it. They'll be like, well, maybe her vagina had COVID. That could happen.
So anyway, she's giving strong legal advice here. It never gets old. What else do we have this defamatory? What does this one say? Remember when Aidan was reprimanded for being inappropriate with students? I do. He talked. I've talked to the young girl he sexually harassed. What? Here's the documentation. Whoops. Why do you simp a pedo who sexualizes his own children to mental? So in this statement, she calls me a pedophile, says I sexualize my children online, and that I was reprimanded for being inappropriate with students, and that she talked to a girl, a former student who I sexually harassed. And then the document that she posts doesn't say anything about that. It just says that I published this in an article I showed showing my separation agreement with Shepherd Hill, where it says, pursuant to Article 9, paragraph of the Dudley Charlton Teachers Association contract, any complaint regarding a teacher from a parent, student, or any other person shall be brought to the attention of the teacher within 5 days. A guidance counselor has forwarded a complaint from the parent of one of your students. Please plan to meet with me at your earliest convenience so that we can address these concerns. You have a right to union representation at the meeting. So I must have missed the part in that where it says that this piece of paper shows I'm being inappropriate with students. I must have missed that part. I got these all the time. Anytime, and this is why I left teaching. I wrote about it. This is from the article where I wrote about it. Anytime a kid wasn't getting the grade they wanted in class, they would have the parent would get mad about it because they're used to Johnny getting all A's, and then he comes to my class and he gets a B- for the first time because I'm somewhat of a tough teacher who actually holds kids to a higher standard and isn't just going to pass them along. Anytime that happened, they would call up and, oh, geez, guidance counselor, my kid's can't get into Harvard now because he got a B- and you need to do something about this. And I'm required by the contract, as the principal points out there, to be notified of this. And we need to come down here to discuss it. Cool. So I must have missed the sexual part of that. Okay, 𝗵𝗧𝗏, sure thing. Or this one. Listening to Turtleboy blather on about how an adult having sex with children is some sort of sexual kink. Again, he is in fact a pedophile himself. I've watched him sexualize children, including his own, and unfortunately my daughter, who is terrified of him. I mean, this is just all untrue. Or how about this one? I mean, how demented is it to post this fucking picture? Aidan's wife sent me this photo and informed me, this is while I was in jail, that her entire family, especially the children, are much happier with him gone, and they had a wonderful Christmas without him and hope for many, many more. So this was not sent to her by my ex-wife. Okay? That is a complete lie. I mean, that's just defamatory. It's untrue. These words were never, you're not allowed to just lie about people. It's defamation. You can't do it. Now, whether or not people actually go and file a lawsuit is another thing, because that's a lot of work and it costs time and money, right? And that's she wrote a whole article here and she published this the other day. I mean, she wants to double down on this shit. I guess she thinks I'm not suing her. We'll see. The top 15 reasons it's reasonable to believe Aidan Kearney is a pedophile or is a rapist. He displays inappropriate sexual behaviors in public. So this, and then we're going to, I recreated, it's a satirical thing where I recreate Brian Albert's butt dial thing. So, I mean, does she think this is not all going to be brought out? Like, I'm not going to prove this wrong. Aidan, he's celebrating Aidan forcing a woman to abort his own child. That never happened. Never happened. Here she is responding to me that I am serial harassing sexual predator. Nope, that's not true. Not true. Aidan Kearney is barred from seeing his kids unsupervised. That's not true. I'm not barred from seeing my kids unsupervised. You can't just say this shit. You cannot just say shit. The shit I say about her, that she lost her kids, and that's all happened. That's all documented. That's all true. I am allowed to see my kids unsupervised. They're sleeping here tomorrow night. What are you talking about? As someone who communicates with the victim's loved ones and family, I can assure you the blogger is getting sued. Ooh, I mean, why haven't they done it yet? This was 8/8/2023. Still waiting. Was she passed out? No. Blacked out? Yes. No one was blacked out. I mean, how do you prove that someone was blacked out? What does that mean? She was embarrassed by her own behavior and was like, her excuse was like, and she wanted to be like, that's uncharacteristic of me. I must have been really wasted. Oh, she was just embarrassed. That was the normal her. It was the first time I had ever seen it, and she didn't want to scare me away. That's all this was. Okay? All these little, it's only going to get worse from here. No, that turned out to be not such a bad day after all. What is this one? How about this one? The drug abuse. Aidan's drug abuse. You can't just say Aidan abuses drugs. I don't. Being prescribed prescription medication is not drug abuse. You can't say that. It's not drug abuse. It's not the same thing. as much as you want it to be. He's tried to stop me from talking about his drug abuse. I don't abuse drugs. Serial philandering. I don't know what that means. And his abuse of his children. I don't abuse my children. You can't just say, you cannot do that. And he says he's going to come out here and interview my family. So she's fucking insane, obviously. He admitted to having sex with a woman who he describes as too drunk to have sex. Literally never said anything of the sort in text message at all. I think my exact words were, I wasn't sure if we should. And then in the next message, I explained why. Because 10 minutes prior to that, she had just berated me and called me like the worst person on earth and a narcissist and all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we should hook up because you apparently hate me. So what's up with that? But you wanted to. So it's like, what? So I never, nowhere in any text message do I say anything of the sort. Okay. This is frivolous and vexatious litigation. Ooh, she found a new word, except it's not. I am not 𝗄𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃. This is real. What does this one say? He's a drug addict. Plain and simple. Ooh, he buys drugs on the street. So this is not her saying, oh, he's addicted to Adderall. No, she's saying he buys drugs on the street, which I don't do. I don't do that. I've never bought drugs on the street. I don't even know where the street is. I live in Holden. There is no the street in Holden. You cannot buy drugs on the streets of Holden because there's no sidewalks. I don't know where the local heroin dealer lives. I don't know. I don't know where to get coke in here. I don't in this town. If they sell in here, that's news to me. I didn't know. He's a disease-ridden loins of a drug addict comment. I'm not. The 5-year-old cold he has is drug addiction per his drug dealer. Oh, that's not true. Aidan preys on children. Oh. And he sends out nude photos of children. Nope. That's definitely not something I did. Or how about this one? Anyone who does this to a woman is pure trash. But this is what Dr. Turtleboy, and she tags me, supports. Because this is how he treats women as well. And then he posts pictures of the fake victim in which she has put wounds on herself. These are clearly not real. These are pictures that she took after she claims Frankie did this to her. And so she's making it seem like I did this. This is just defamatory. Plain and simple. Aidan's a criminal junkie. I'm not. Tell your wife I'm coming soon. You're a criminal. You're still a junkie in a Lexus. Okay, I'm not a junkie, though. You are always beamed out in Adderall. You abuse it along with Cialis. You take a drug test? Oh, my God. Oh, so again, this just goes on. Aidan's drug use. Aidan knew she was guilty and kept terrorizing witnesses anyway. Untrue. Untrue. This is all defamatory. Drug-addled mind. He's a drug addict. He's literally a criminal. Literally. Except I'm not. Aidan has a drug problem. What does this one say? I really hope he didn't sexually abuse that poor dog to death. Yeah, how about this one? How about this one? Talk about defamation. This is like the definition of defamatory. I just received some disturbing news. Aidan Kearney has killed his dog Ryder after only a few days. You'll never see Ryder again. Unfortunately, I'm not shocked. He abuses women, abuses the court process. He also kills innocent animals. You can't say that. Like, what planet is this person living on where she thinks that's acceptable? Like, this is the kind of thing you post when you think I won't go out and pay thousands of dollars to sue you because you're too broke to, pay a judgment. Because this is open and shut defamation. This one right here. Because I didn't kill my dog, my former dog Ryder, who I had for 3 days. Okay? I didn't kill Ryder. Ryder is very much alive and living in Vermont. No, I'm just kidding. She's down the Cape. All right? And we can actually produce Ryder, unlike the McAlberts. We can produce her. I mean, this is insane. Like, does she think that I can't prove this? Like, this is wild. Lindsay was advised by me and other numerous times not to see him in person. Violent rapist that he is and all. She disregarded your advice. 100% of Aidan's kids were threatened by their own father. Completely untrue. Aidan is not a journalist. His own children fear him. Untrue. I remember, this is one about her own daughter. I recall her kid, saying Aidan's poor abused daughter will grow up to be promiscuous. The word is she already started. She's 8, or she was 8 when she wrote this. Such a shame. So now she's defaming an 8-year-old girl. I mean, and again, this is the person who Jennifer Kofendafer associates with. This is the person who Julie Grant had on her channel. Disgusting. What's this one? Hardly shocking. Registered sex offenders love Aidan. Aidan Kearney sexually harassed a teenager at a football game. Nope, didn't do that. Didn't do that. Tiny simp with rampant drug and sex addiction terrorizes and nope, definitely don't have that. Don't have a sex addiction or a rampant drug addiction either. Why do you sexualize children? I don't. Yeah. I mean, this is all a lie. Okay. What else do we have here? Aidan wrote those about his own kids. I didn't. Somebody else did. Like, what? Anyway. How about this one? This is 12/28/23. So this is the fake victim saying that she's embarrassed and didn't want to talk about the fake abortion. She's pro-life and felt pressured, hopeless, and ashamed. She'd had 3 real abortions prior to that. And that's all going to come out at trial too, because we got proof of all that shit. Yeah. How about that? So she's not really pro-life. Like this is another lie. Another lie. Aidan has a group of fellow pedophiles who fantasize about children. Nope. He's a domestic abuser. Nope, I'm not. How about this one? Oh, that you haven't already spent it on cocaine. So she just says I do cocaine there. DCF is making a house call to Aidan as we speak. No, they never did. The cops searched his house after he was arrested, and it was described as filthy and deplorable, with rotted food everywhere and stuff all over the floor. Except the body cam footage from inside my house shows none of this is true at all. At all. How about this? The guy is he is a literal pedo. I'm a literal pedo. Sending around pictures of naked children. None of this true. None of this is true. There is a police report memorializing the sexual assault. Except nowhere in this report does it memorialize any sort of sexual assault. So anyway, that's just an example of something that could be considered defamatory, and we'll see. We'll see how, again, she's a legal expert though. So will she be sued next? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we, folks? We'll find out. But that seems like pretty open and shut defamation, doesn't it, folks? It doesn't matter if you're a public figure. You can't say that about somebody if it's not true. Period. Period. Yeah, I mean, hate is, I would say, more obsessed. More obsessed. So, okay, let me read any turtle chats we have before we call it a night. I don't want to miss anyone. Danielle sends $10. It goes, last one. Yesterday, Melanie Little's coverage of the Turk trial prep. Go to 221, discovery given to the defense, Proctor's work phone. Karen Reed's team must do the same thing. Okay, I'll go check that out. Thank you. Did I hear about the Gaffney donation refund request? Yeah, I did a whole thing on it. So thank you, Danielle. Frank sends $5, goes, this is a different one. What do the fake victim, KP, and a dildo have in common? They're all stuck up cunts. That's a good one. Thank you, Frank. Bob sends $25 and goes, Turtleboy, where do you go to get 60 days of your life back with your kids? Isn't filing a fake charge causing you to be imprisoned a crime? It certainly should be. Shouldn't the state be charging her and 𝗃𝗏 to criminal charges for filing a false police report? Never forget 60 days of your life are gone, Bob. I mean, that's the thing about this, is there's just no consequences for it. We all know it's been proven now that none of this happened, and I lost 60 days of my life from that. 60 days. So there will be consequences for that. I don't know what those, but I'll tell you what, things are not going well for them. I mean, look at where it's at now. She's got an order on her. She's got criminal charges coming. She no longer has an order on me. As we saw at this restraining order hearing, when this goes to trial with the violation of the order thing in Dedham, and then with the witness intimidation, if it gets to that, it is going to be a spectacular disaster for them. I think they're too stupid and just not thinking right to understand what a disaster this is going to be for them. Like, I don't know how they think this is going to end well. All the facts are on my side. All the evidence is on my side. I have two amazing lawyers. It is going to be a disaster for them. So there's that. Thank you. Nicole sends $10, goes, just showing some love to my favorite doctor, daddy. Hashtag free Karen Reed. Hashtag free daddy. Again, I don't make people call me Daddy Crusty. You know, I don't do that. People just want to do it, so they do it. You know, it's a little thing. I'm not actually anyone's daddy. I'm not actually doing it in a sexual way, because I'm not in a sexual relationship with the people who send me donations that say, call me daddy. Nothing like that. It's what's called a joke. It's satire. It's like the doll thing. But of course she knows all this. She knows all this. What else we got? Nicola sends $10, goes, is there any chance 𝗃𝗍𝗄 is having these hearings to confirm to himself that he cannot win this case and he throws it out before trial? No. Or is it just too much, or is he just too much of a pig to admit it? No, there's nothing like that going on. He's just a piece of shit. So thank you very much, Nicola. All right. Cash apps. Colleen sends $5, and for the swag bag, thank you, Colleen. Jacqueline sends $20 and goes, listening to the fake victim in court. Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Tell me about it, Jacqueline. Thank you. Mariana sends $10 and goes, just to say you have me dying over here. I love it. Thank you, Mariana. I'm glad to have you dying. Not real dying, but like laughing dying. $10 from Jeffrey says, has Coven ever retracted her posts? Sue her, 𝗃𝗏, and Mello. Well, 𝗃𝗏 and Mello would be sued in a different way. Neither of them has really defamed me, but certainly Jennifer Coven doofus has. And she's kind of stupid, and she thinks that she won't get sued for this, but she's on the list. So again, people are going to be like, when's this come? You'll see when it comes. Everything is by design. Everything is by design. It's all going to make sense. And we are going to fucking dominate this. So no, she is not retracted because she wants to fuck. So we can fuck. Let's go. Critical say I could do a whole, I could go down, I could sue so many people if I wanted for this. But I want to stick to the ones who really did me wrong the worst and were, the biggest offenders. And 𝗃𝗃 because of the size of her platform and the fact that she's on TV and is a expert in the FBI and blah, blah, blah. The things that she says carry a lot of weight. And she needs to be real careful with the things that she says. So again, I'm not fucking around anymore. I got money now. Before, people used to defame me and I had no money. So I couldn't really do shit about it. I got a little extra expendable cash now because business is good, because I'm fucking awesome. And that's what happens in America when you create a product that people want. You make money. And I got more money, more problems. No doubt about that. I'm not saying I'm like fucking retiring and I'm not buying property. I'm still renting this fucking house. You know what I mean? This apartment, it's a house, I guess, right now. But that's because I'm frugal, and that's because I don't spend money. I'm not one of these ghetto ass people who just goes, oh, I got money for the first time. I'm gonna go spend it all bling. I won't do that. I'm not that guy. I'm smart. I did get a new car, but I needed a car, so might as well buy a fucking car. But that was a year and a half ago. So yeah, I am making more money, but I also realize that I have a lot of costs coming up as well. So once this is all over, then, so I do basically, bottom line here is I have a little, I am not afraid to expend a little money to protect my reputation. And yeah, I'll buy a house when this is like, because right now it's like a waste of money on renting. It's much cheaper to rent out here than it is to rent east of 495. But I want to live in Holden because that's where my kids live. And, if I want them to sleep over like 3 nights a week, then it needs to be in town. It's just so much more convenient if it's close by, So I look on Zillow a lot, and, I'm always checking them out. I'm not going to be buying anytime soon, but I just want to know what I'm working with. And there's just constantly new house. I'll find something. Again, more money, more problems. It's like, because now I have this thing called child support for the first time in my life. And so that's it's not, getting divorced is expensive. That's why do you think I didn't do it for so many years? It was just, it's expensive. It's like marriage is a financial thing. Like people get married and stay married often because it's just cheaper to. Like, that's the bottom line. So many people who shouldn't be married remain in marriages that really shouldn't keep going because it's fucking easier. Like, millions of Americans live like that. It's just a fact, right? It's very expensive, right? Like, people who all my divorced people out there, they know it. It's like, it's fucking expensive to get divorced. And that's why people don't do it, because it's fucking expensive and it's difficult and it's complicated. And so, I kind of had no choice. I was kind of in the news, but, you got to do what's best for the kids at all times. That's the bottom line when it comes to it. Just do what's best for the kids. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you can still be friends. That's nice. That's good. A lot of people can't. That's my goal. I am not trying to be antagonistic. I don't want to go be in a fight. I want to work everything out without going to court. I even got like a 2-for-1 lawyer when we did it. Like, there's lawyers that do like non-contentious divorces, and it's so much fucking cheaper. Oh my God. So much cheaper. And I'm like, she can just have whatever she wants. You guys could read my divorce agreement online. It's like, I just gave her the house. You just have it. I don't give a shit. Have it. All the equity in it, it's yours. You just can't sell it until the kids turn 18. You can't leave, because I want to be like, that's my thing. I don't want them leaving the school system they're in. It's a nice school system we have out here. I don't want that happening. So, but at the same time, it's like, well, she's got to, You know, she's going to have the same expenses of the house, like maintaining it, right? So if she can't afford that, that's going to be a problem. So that's what child support is. Like, you just need to keep paying your half, basically, of a house you don't live in and you get no equity in. But whatever, you know, more money, more problems is what it is. I mean, I'm seeing if you knew how much money I spent, exactly. Like, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like, some people with divorce, it's like fucking nuts. And it is. It's just like, but I literally could not have done this. I couldn't get divorced 2 or 3 years ago. I couldn't. I mean, it would be like, I'd be fucking broke, you know? But is what it is. You're not paying child support while you're married. No, I mean, you are essentially, right? I mean, but you're living there. So like I was paying half of all the household expenses, right? For a house that I lived in. Now I'm paying half of all the household expenses for a house I don't live in. So obviously I'm not getting the better of that deal, and I'm fine with it. I don't give a fuck, you know? It's just peace of mind. Anyway, your kids are worth it. Therapy is a lot more expensive. Exactly. Anyway, 150 grand on divorce. That's fucking nuts. And it's like, because you pay half of the expenses for a house you don't live in, and then 100% of the expenses for a house you do live in. Like, that's the, you know, whatever. Oh, thank you, Mimi. You're so nice. You're so sweet. I'm seeing a lot of people in there. I'm going to actually put this in the, I wonder how many people watching this are divorced. I'm going to do a new poll. 83% say 𝗄𝗏 is dead. So that's what we thought. I'm just curious how many people. All right. Are you divorced? Go. Okay. I just put it in the chat right now. I just put a thing saying, are you divorced? Yes or no? What do you people say in the chat here? All right. We have 150 people so far. 54% say yes. So people can relate. No, it's up to 51 say no now. 52 say no. But there's a good chunk of people out there who feel me on this one, you know? Is what it is. Yeah, I mean, marrying before, statistically, if you marry before 30, you're much more likely to get divorced, you know? Yeah, and I understand a lot of people are never married, and that's fine. God bless you. The stigma that people have about, like, and I've seen people say this about Karen Reed, oh, she's unmarried, whatever. I'm like, good for her. Good for her. Like, and I'm better because I got married. Like, no, like, what? That's not something to brag about. Married at 17. I mean, God bless you. Not divorced, owns side-by-side houses because he's a dick. Yeah, I mean, that's another way to do it too. Some people just do the legally separated thing, you know, and no, like, what is this judgment that people have? Who cares? I divorced a woman. Now we're getting into divorce shit. Divorced a woman and I had to pay him. I'm a divorced woman and I had to pay him child support. That means he had the kids more. Is that how it works? I mean, it's complicated. Yeah, and it's great, Alyssa, when you have a ex-husband who you have a great co-parenting relationship with, you know. That's great. I wish I had never got married. You know, and I'll never say that though, because I got the two greatest gifts ever out of what turned out to be, you know, a failure. But is it though? Is it? Because you got two kids who will be there for the rest of your life. And they're like the most important things. So I'll never view it as failure. It's like because of that, you know. This shit is, I mean, that's the bottom line. Shit is really complicated. But and that was the stigma about like the failure. You're like, well, you're like, am I a failure? Because this didn't, you know what I mean? It's like I'm the first one of my friends to do it. And it's just like, but after a while, you just get over it and you're just like, fuck it, you know? It's better you do it now than later, you know, when you look at yourself and you're 55 years old and you're like, well, you can't move on. You can't be happy, you know? I mean, and you've messaged me about that before, Renee. It's like a lot of people have had horrible divorces, horrible. Child support isn't fair to the father. It really isn't. If you're 50-50. Yeah, if you're 50-50, if they stay at your house half the time, I agree completely with that, you know. But with me, it's like, I just don't want, I don't know. I'm just feeling charitable. Like I was extremely charitable how this all worked out. Like it was just like, it was to me, anything to avoid a fight, anything. It's like, I have the money to do this, then that's what I'm going to do. Period. I'm going to take care of my kids. Period. Therapy. All right. How did this happen? How did this happen? I like that. Happily divorced. That's a good way to put it. Happily divorced. Anyway, let me read. What did the poll end up being? Okay. 43% of people watching right now are divorced. How about that? And I'm sure most of you are much happier as a result of this. Are you not? But I am a doctor. I'm a therapist now. Okay. All right, guys. I am going to call it a night. But I love all you fine people. And you guys keep up the good work. And we'll see you guys for the sex cult on Thursday. And then I think we're going to do the live show on Sunday night because my Lions, my Detroit Lions are back. And we're going to win the Super Bowl finally after decades and decades of suffering. It's our time as Lions fans, baby. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Peace.